kind of timing it out here with this respect to that. That's moving up here pretty quickly. Again, still about 45, 50 miles per hour. So that puts it in Pleasant Grove, not Jefferson County, the one down to the south. It's 740 right now. 747 Oakley, Asby there around 751. Wessington 753. Jemison 754. Ocampo, Rocky Mount 755 to 757 for you. Dry Valley coming in around 758. Calera around 801. The storm could be in your area, so take shelter now. And actually, we have a confirmed tornado just now, TDS coming in from the same storm. So again, we're watching things change rapidly here. Again, if you're in those areas just mentioned here, including all the way down to Calera, Shelby Springs through 801 to 806, take shelter immediately. We now have a confirmed tornado with this storm here. So let me go ahead and switch this over here, and you can see we're talking about, I guess, this little blip near Bibb Mill. Yeah, right there through Bibb Mill. So we were watching this little area here. This would be our possible or likely tornado now that we have debris showing up here, kind of just south of Thomas Mill area. So now we have a confirmed tornado warning here for Bibb County till 8 o'clock. While it's 13 minutes away, we're watching this. This is where our tornado is right now, kind of just off to the west of Bibb Mill, heading right toward Oakley, Asbury area. Going to be clipping here parts there of Chilton County, and then toward Montevallo. If you're watching Montevallo, Calera area, Matala Acres area, Country Mills, Wilton. That is what we're looking at for a tornado, and that is working its way off there to the northeast at a pretty quick clip here, about 50, 55 miles per hour. So let me go ahead and stick a storm track on it now that we have a pinpoint of where that is, and moving up here about 45 to 50 miles per hour, and go ahead and show you again. If you're watching us in Oakley, be in your safe place right now. Say 751, 758 potential arrival, Wilton, Dry Valley, 759 Montevallo at 8 o'clock, Ocampo 801, 804 South Calera, Calera itself at 805, Ozan there around 807, Shelby Springs around 810, Shelby around 814, Hillsdale 814 as well. So need to take your shelter immediately. We're talking right over Thomas Mill. This would be our tornado here, and it is moving off to the northeast into parts there of Bibb County, parts of kind of clipping Chilton County, and into Shelby County right now. So that is where our tornado is located here at this point as we continue to track it for you right near the Thomas Mill area. It is showing up as a debris signature here. It hasn't lasted very long, but it's going to be coming into Thomas Mill, just crossed near the Thomas Mill Road area here over County Road 42, headed over toward State Route 439 coming, or 139 rather there. So this is where we're talking here, right in that location between Thomas Mill. Here's County Road 42. So this was just a little bit ago, so it's likely already farther to the north. So let's go ahead and zoom out just a little bit and show you that again, it's headed right into the Oakley area. So this tornado is headed into Oakley now. We're in Bibb County, heading on in towards Shelby County now, and kind of clipping parts there of Chilton County with this. So if you're in Oakley, shelter now. Now is the time to get shelter. Helmets on, be in your safe place shelter. This is where we need to be. That is our tornado right here, kind of just off to the east of Thomas Mill. State Route 139. And it continues that track here off to the northeast. So as it moves northeast, we're going to see it moving toward Oakley, Asbury, and Briarfield. You are all next with this tornado, and we'll get the new updates in moments here, and it likely will jump up that close to you in the Oakley area. So be in your safe place. We have this tornado warning, confirmed tornado with Doppler radar right now here with respect to the storm that's moving on in. And this is, again, the Thomas Mill area. I'm going to show you where the radar is to show you where it's located in the midst of all this rain. So it is rain wrapped here. So it's not going to be something we can easily see. You probably hear the roar of the wind with that. And you can see that's a rotation coming right in through there between Thomas Mill, the Bibb Mill area, headed right toward Oakley is where we're watching for that to continue to move on in. And you can see that's where our shear right now, right there. That is where our tornado is located. Strongest shear. We're talking extreme at that level here, but the best way to see that is right now looking at a debris indicator. So we do have that at this point here. You can see now it's jumped up to Oakley, still showing that debris set up with that storm there as we go forward here. So we do have, again, up here, a confirmed tornado coming into Shelby County from that one as it moves its way north into Shelby County, as well as kind of possibly clipping here the kind of northwestern corner of Bibb County on into the southwestern part of Shelby County now. So that is our tornado. We're watching very closely there. We're looking at it again, confirmed tornado warning till 8:45 for Shelby County, till 8:30 here for Chilton County, and expiring at 8 o'clock here by Bibb County. Likely it'll be out of Bibb County by the time we get to the 8 o'clock time frame. Maybe just clipping here, that corner, far northwestern corner of. Did they issue that one for that one too? Yep. So again, that one's confirmed. Here's our new one, now just developing. We just were talking about this one, saying, hey, that looked really interesting. Let's go back and show you here some of that rotation. Quite a bit of it, Talladega and Clay County. That's the other one storm we've been talking about here with that rotation to it. And again, some stronger wind shear in that same location. It's likely we're starting to see this environment changing quite a bit as we get dark now here at the 7:51 time frame. And still seeing again, that's one storm we're watching, and I don't think we have any debris showing up on that one yet, but we'll be watching that as it moves through those locations. But we still have, again, not what's here in Jemison, but right here, this is our tornado coming on in, and it will work its way here further off to the north and moving on in into parts there of Shelby County shortly. So again, this is not what we're looking at. It's right here, back across part of the Oakley area and Ashby right now, here in Bibb County. So we're continuing to keep an eye out for that one. Now a confirmed tornado there for Bibb County, Chilton County, and into Shelby County since it's moving in your direction. So things are starting to get a little more ramped up here, as well as that warmer, more humid air comes in. Storms are starting to get a little better organized, and now we have that confirmed tornado coming in. This one, though, kind of hard to tell with it because it's wrapped in the rain, but with the more unique one here, kind of, we do have this rotation showing up here with the storm coming into parts of Clay County and Talladega County, kind of stair-stepping with the county line at that point. So starting to see some of these tornadoes ramping up here, and this is likely going to be what we're continuing to see moving forward into the evening here. So we still can get those confirmation. Thing is now, we're talking nighttime tornadoes, and no one likes a tornado anyway, let alone a nighttime tornado, right? So we are going to continue to watch this. Be sure to pay close attention to the weather. Make sure you have your weather wireless alerts on for your cell phone. Your weather radio is ready to go as well, too. This is going to come through the heart of Shelby County right now. Again, already confirmed tornado in far parts of eastern Bibb County. May clip parts there of Chilton County and head into Shelby County here. So this one's going to be watched very closely, and we'll continue watching this other one here going on in just south of the Talladega area here. Let me get a storm track on that one. It's going to give you a better perspective of where that is going to be going here. And whoops, that's good. Come on, there we go. And this one here is working its way pretty quickly up to the north, and we'll take it in toward the Waldo area around 8:02, Ironton around 8:07, Chinnaby 8:09, Bethlehem 8:11, Munford there around 8:14, Union, Kentucky around 8:16 to 17, same for Mount Cheaha, potentially heading up that way, and then going over toward Coldwater around 8:18. So that is the storm coming in through parts there of Talladega and also Clay County. It's going to be bouncing back and forth as the county line kind of stair steps there as it goes eventually potentially toward maybe Anniston area. So Calhoun County will be watching this one here closely for you as well too, moving forward at that storm as it continues to possibly hold together there. But pretty good rotation showing up. Looks like it may be clipping just off to the east there of Talladega right now. Live look there in Chilton County. Look at all that lightning showing up there right now with that camera. Again, intense lightning with that storm. That is in Chilton County. That is I-65, so that actually is far away here from the interstate, from where the storm is right now. The interstate here, as you get toward Calera, we'll have to keep a close eye out for that one moving forward. Alex, you still tracking the latest here with that storm? Looks like that debris signature not quite as prominent as it once was.
It's not, but we're probably recycling here. The Weather Service noticing this in far northwest Chilton County. This would be west of Ocampo, west of the south end of Calera there on the county line. and moving northeast, but this will be a heads up if you're watching us in Calera. This is probably the next problematic part of this storm, and we've seen the rotation picking up here. We're going to circle this for you right in here. That's going to be the area that we're watching and concerned about. So Calera, including the south side of town, as far south as across the line over towards Tin Top Barbecue, Roberta, Dry Valley, Montevallo Acres. You need to be getting in your safe place right now. We do not have confirmation of a tornado at the moment on that signature, but this is a storm with a history of producing them quickly, and we do have some rotation trying to tighten up there. So we may see another tornado drop there in the northwestern end of Chilton County. And again, that would be a heads up if you're watching us in Calera right now. This is heading your direction. So everybody in southern Shelby County, Wilton, Montevallo, Dry Valley, Calera, up towards the airport, you need to be in a safe place, but particularly over towards Dry Valley, along 25 east of Montevallo up towards Calera. We want you in a safe place because, again, this part of the storm here, rotation is ramping up and is a cause for concern here as that continues to lift north and east. Let's give you an ETA on this for the city of Calera. Probably here within the next 5 to 10 minutes. So you need to be in your safe place right now, 8 o'clock or a little bit later there in the city of Calera. And if you're on the south side of town, it'll probably be a little bit earlier than that. So again, this particular storm at the moment is probably one that's more likely to give us quick tornadoes that spin up, drop a quick tornado, lifts, and then a new one forms right behind it. So multiple areas of spin here. These warning boxes are not going to be particularly narrow because of that. You're going to see pretty big boxes like the one we've got there for most of Shelby County. So best course of action, get in your safe place. This is a nasty storm. It's capable of wind damage, and again, that potential here too for a tornado. And right now, we're looking near the Chilton-Shelby County line there, a little northwest of Ocampo, as that potential hot spot at the moment for tornado development. But still some question here. We'll continue to closely watch this, but there's still some pretty good rotation there. Do not see a debris signature on this at the moment, but again, that does not mean we don't have anything developing. It's a live view from Shelby County right now, one of the ALDOT cameras there. Can you tell me in my ear again, where is this in Shelby County? Oh, at the airport. So this is sort of the north end of Calera there. That's actually located where the National Weather Service is located, and they are, from what I have read so far, they've got their bags packed and ready to go to their safe place. So, hey, if the guys issuing the warnings are getting in their safe place, Shelby County, it's time to get in your safe place now. And again, we say that not to scare you. These are storms we can get through, okay? We just need you to get in that lowest floor of your home, away from doors and windows. Put as many walls between you and the outside as possible, okay? You don't want to be in a mobile home. You don't want to be driving. You see some folks there driving on 65. That's not a good idea. If you happen to be listening to us on the radio, we advise you to pull off at an exit, find a business, a local business that's open, shelter there if they'll let you until this gets past you. But certainly we don't want you in a mobile home either. And again, you take those safety precautions, we'll make it through this. I know storms cause people anxiety. We can get through this together, but you got to take those actions now. Don't get panicked and freeze. We need you to get into that safe place. You do that, we'll make it through this just fine. But again, tornado threat continuing now for northern Chilton County and into Shelby County. And again, still some concern here that this could continue to spin up some additional tornadoes. We've got meteorologist Jacob Wood standing by. Jacob, you've been tracking these storms too. What are you seeing right now?
Well, actually monitoring the radar plus the chat. Just some information that I want to lay clear right now is that there are some reports of tornado sirens in Hoover and even a couple in Birmingham, and I want to make it abundantly clear that Hoover and Birmingham are outside of this polygon. You are not included in this tornado warning. This would be for Alabaster, Columbiana, Calera, of course, Wilton, Jemison area as well. So those are the communities in the polygon. Just to circle exactly where they're watching that rotation, closer here to the Wilton community, Hoover, you are located all the way up here and outside of this polygon. So unfortunately, with the way that tornado sirens work, of course, we say that is the very last resort to receive a warning. But if that is your way and you are concerned by hearing that and you live in the Hoover area or you live in the Birmingham area, just know that that should not be alarmed. Sometimes if you are in the same county and a certain part of that county is under a warning, the entire county's sirens will go off. We see this happen pretty often, so just wanted to make it clear for people that are in Hoover and Birmingham, you are not included in this warning and you do not need to pay attention to those tornado sirens.
All right, Jacob, thank you so much. As we continue tracking the storm, it's working its way closer to the Calera area right now in I-65 here. Again, as Alex mentioned, that's where the National Weather Service office is located. So they may be having to hunker down here quite a bit in the next few minutes, taking a break as this moves through the area kind of right over top of the Doppler radar. But this is the area we're watching here right now, parts of southern part of Shelby County here and heading over toward just kind of north of Jemison. So Jemison, you've been kind of missed this here, but some strong winds. You can see a live camera right now over the area, though. Again, let me jump out here real quick, and you can see that that is where we're looking at. Is that still the Shelby County Airport camera there? Okay, Shelby County Airport area. So that is going to be one to watch because you can see the intense lightning showing up. I don't know why cars are driving down the interstate. It's not the night to be driving around, folks. You want to be staying home. We could have nighttime tornadoes out there. And again, this one is going to be working its way here right through the Calera area as we speak right now. Going on forward here, going to show you a different perspective of this. As you can see, some of those really strong, the gusty winds coming right in toward Calera. Let me zoom in even more here and give you a better perspective of what we're talking about as that moves on. Yeah, this is going to go right through over top of Calera, South Calera. It's already kind of past you. Roberta area, though, heading to Montala Acres, going over toward Ozan. And this will be moving its way here basically right up Highway 31, Interstate 65, though, in the Calera area. So if you're watching us there in Calera, need to be in your safe place. Again, lowest level of your home, the basement, best place to be. Helmets on, shoes on. Let's go. Be in that. You should have been in that place anyway. Don't wait for the storm to get there, right? You want to be there beforehand. Over toward the Dargan area, and this could eventually impact parts there of northern part of Shelby County, maybe toward Columbiana here as it moves off to the northeast. Looking at it at the latest radar now, giving you the perspective of it. This hole is the Doppler radar. So again, anything comes close to it, it's hard to get some good data with it because it's going to be moving right over top of the radar, but kind of zooming out. This is the storm coming into Montevallo, more so to Calera area. Heavy rain continues here across part of Chilton County, and still some gusty winds tied in with this. But again, this has been a confirmed tornado when it was back in Bibb County. Bibb County, if you were in your safe place, you're clear from a tornado. Still have the heavy rain and thunderstorms coming in. As you saw in that camera shot, though, ton of lightning here showing up in the Calera area, though, right at the Shelby County Airport. We're still watching this tornado warning here for Talladega County and parts of Clay County, most of it in Talladega County now, the southern part of the county, giving you another look here at the latest with the velocity product, showing you what we have with that one. You can see here that rotation is kind of working its way through parts there. It's kind of broad, but near Talladega, back toward the Waldo area, though, as it continues lifting its way northward here, heading toward Bethlehem, Munford area, and Hopeful. So be in your safe place. No confirmation of a tornado with this one here yet, which would be some good news, but still can see some really gusty winds right along as that Highway 77 there through the Waldo area, Chandler Springs, heading up toward Talladega City is what we're looking at. Again, some really gusty winds. Don't want to forget about this storm as it continues moving its way here off to the northeast, headed toward Mumford and eventually maybe Oxford, Anniston area as you get into the Chilton County, or I should say Calhoun County area. But by all means, we're still watching that confirmed tornado that's working its way through Calera right now. It's likely that is where it is, crossing I-65 here.
One on the north side of town.
North side of town, okay. So yeah, it's hard to tell. This is going to look a little messy here. I guess that is the...
It is just south of the radar there.
So right in through here,
Yep.
It looks like the Calera. That would be the tornado right now. Again, here's the radar. I don't know if you could pull up that two shot of the algo camera as well too. Keep an eye out for that. Here's where we're talking about. That is where a tornado is located here, heading into the Calera area, just on the north side of Calera. Hard to see here because that is the Doppler radar, but it's moving off to the northeast here. And with that in mind, you need to be in shelter right now if you're in these areas here moving forward, going on in toward the area. That is a live look at the camera there. You can see how intense that storm is. If you're in Joinertown, 817, East Saginaw, 824, 4 Mile at 825, Chelsea around 829, Chelsea Park 831, Westover around 834. This now confirmed tornado will be heading up toward your direction there here. So 834, currently it's 805, so about 30 minutes till it gets up in your direction though. But just kind of looking at that camera, that is from the Shelby County Airport, right next to the Weather Service there. You can see there's 18-wheelers driving through this here, putting hazards on, really not going to do much any good. But nonetheless, though, you can see how intense that thunderstorm is with that heavy rain. There's gusty winds out there as well, too, with this storm as it continues to work its way through. Look at the lightning, just almost continuous lightning here. So now's not the time to be driving. If you're walking at home trying to think, well, I need to go somewhere, you don't. Just stay home, let everything pass by, go do it tomorrow. You know, and nothing's worth getting out into a storm and potentially driving right into a nighttime tornado. That's the last thing you want to do.
190 miles an hour gate-to-gate shear.
Whoa, on 190 miles, oh my goodness. Ooh, that's intense. Okay, so that is what we're looking at here. Let's go back over toward the velocity here.
It's crossing 65.
It's crossing, okay, so keep that camera up. Again, this is what we're looking at here. There we go. There's what we're talking about. That's the scene. Go back to the double box with the camera, please, because this is going to be moving very close to that location there, maybe just south of there. So all those cars you saw driving south are going to be driving south right into it. There's the update coming in. But you can see those cars there. If we're simulcasting on 99.5, if you're listening to that, you need to be finding a safe place. Do not drive south of there. You could be driving right into that tornado. As Alex was saying there, again, we have intense significance there. Again, 90 mile per hour gate-to-gate shear. At one point, it was even stronger than that, looks like. That storm is moving right through Calera by the Shelby County Airport. Again, you can see traffic, which shouldn't be moving, is driving right through it, potentially driving right into it. And there you see Alex highlighting there right now. Pasqua area, though, stems, that is your tornado right there. That is Interstate 65, Highway 31, right where they intersect there. That is where we're talking about. This is headed towards State Route 30, County Road 42, and again, moving its way off to the northeast here at a fairly good clip, around 45, 50 miles per hour with this storm. So again, this is a confirmed tornado right now. That area there, as you move on further to the north, you can see here where we're talking about. Moving on in, potentially up toward the Chelsea area. That gets in toward the Joinertown area, 816, over toward East Saginaw, 822, 4 Mile, 824, Chelsea High School, Chelsea Park, Chelsea itself, 826 to 830, Lee Branch Shopping Center there around 833, as well as Lee Branch itself, Lake Purdy around 834, Brook Highland and Old Baker Farm, 835, 836. That is the storm we are continuing to watch here for you. So again, Alex, you go ahead and keep driving there. I'll point things out. But we are looking at, again, we just pointing out the winds. So here's the Doppler radar. That's where this hole is. So we are getting basically a straight shot of how strong the tornado is out there. So you've got roughly, what is that, 80 or 79, 27 though. And again, you're talking about 110 gate-to-gate shear. When you talk gate-to-gate, that means the wind's going inbound and outbound. So that is very strong winds, and you're getting a great sampling here from the Doppler radar as it moves through the area. So again, here's our radar. That's why you have a hole right here as it sits just near the Shelby County Airport, and this is where we're looking at. That view you see, that is from the Shelby County Airport exit on Interstate 65. I can see some flashing lights though from cars. Looks like hazard lights out there. Traffic, at least at the moment, has ceased, which is good, but this has crossed over I-65 as it continues to move through, and it continues its crossing over Highway 31 now. Here's Highway 70 coming on into that area as well, County Road 42. And so that is where we're looking at here with that storm as it crosses right over the interstate, going over Highway 31 now. This is our velocity. Can you, Alex, go back over toward the CC here and just show you what we're talking about, debris indicator, and kind of showing you where it's been. So
We
it
may be
looks
too
like
close to the.
it may be too close to the radar now to get a good idea of what it was, because there it's jumping. Yeah, so
It's about here.
it's about that location right now. So Dargan area, here's Highway 31, Highway 78 intersection is moved to the north of there. That rotation, again, this is where we're talking, right in through here and continuing to lift its way to the north with that storm as it goes through. Heading on into parts there, more rural Shelby County, but eventually toward Camp Branch area there as well. We're going to continue watching that one as it moves in. But very, very strong winds tied in with this one here going on in. If it's not storming, you saw how intense that shot look at that traffic camera there over by the Shelby County Airport here. Where's this one? We're up by Alabaster now here is with this one. So we're farther up I-65 here. And so this one's going to be, the storm's going to be off there to the east of I-65 and away from the main part of Alabaster now, since that's on the western side of I-65. Alex, you got something?
Yeah, some damage reports coming in. 911 Shelby County reporting a trailer has been destroyed on 13th Street in Calera, and then Calera PD passing along that a trailer park in Calera has been hit. So likely some significant damage reports starting to trickle in here from the city of Calera now.
And it didn't take long. This quickly ramped up. That's been the thing we've noticed here today, whether it was over in Pickens County, whether in Walker County. These storms have really tightened up and ramped up very quickly here, and that has led to some significant damage. You already saw the pictures from over near the Gordo area, over toward the Sipsey area, and unfortunately we're going to be dealing with some more coming on down here as well too. So that is definitely what we're going to be watching here going forward through the rest of the evening here. We're not done with this. We do have that tornado watch in effect till 8 o'clock. It's been extended till 9 with this because it's already 8 o'clock, and we obviously still have tornadoes coming down to the area here too. But this is a confirmed tornado. Again, it's hard to see. You're looking at this going, what in the world is that? That is the actual Doppler radar. Again, right around the radar, you can't get data because the signal has to go out and come back, right? So with that in mind, we're seeing this again right here is about where that would be. So again, we're looking at the Calera area just down to the south here, kind of moving on in. The storm is moving off here to kind of the northeast at this point and continuing its track up toward the Camp Branch area here. Here's Highway 31. That's what's right through here, and here's Interstate 65. So again, that is about the proximity here. Again, with the storm moving basically right over close to the radar, it's hard to see here. Alex, go ahead and switch to Montgomery radar and see if that gives us any kind of a, it might be a little bit not as smooth what we'd like to see. I don't know if that's going to be any better now.
It looked good in earlier scans, but not the most recent one.
Yeah, so this, because anytime you want to look at, we have a lot of radars to look at here across central Alabama when we're looking at storms. So we do have, again, these tornado warnings. Looks like there's another one.
Yeah, a new one coming in for Chilton. This is going to be Chilton, Dallas, and Autauga. So that's going to be for this storm north of Valley Grande.
It looks like it includes also Hill County, Greensboro area. Is that what we're looking at behind that? Or is that flooding?
Yeah, that's going to be
flooding.
that flood advisory.
Okay. But yeah, the one south of it here, obviously we're watching too. That's this coming up here from the south. So again, we're looking at that moving on in towards Chilton County. So all of you in the Chilton County area, the Thorsby area, need to be, again, in your safe place for that tornado warning. Watching this one here as it kind of works its way here just north, kind of past the radar here and lifting its way northward here. We'll be watching to see that. Hopefully the radar is okay. We get updates, continual updates from that as well. So we'll be watching to see that too as that moves past. And hopefully the Weather Service folks down there watching, you guys are a little close call with that one. But thank you for all that you've been doing for us.
They are back on the floor.
Appreciate to have that. So we're still watching that one. That is continuing to show some, again, that rotation, again, being so close to radar is hard. So this is what what we're keeping an eye on here. Again, we'll see if that continues its way northward, but do have reports, unfortunately, hitting a mobile home park and doing significant damage there near the Calera area. So in the Calera area, again, those areas were hit. Again, the storm goes back. Alex, if you can rewind this just a little bit, at least with the, see the debris, just kind of show where it came through parts there of Chilton County area and lifting its way northward here, where we were talking about when we really started seeing some of that developing. So again, giving you a perspective, again, here's Calera, Montevallo area there, and watching the storm kind of develop and lifting its way through the region. There you can see it kind of passing by, and then right through Calera area, the storm develops and then continues its way closer toward that Doppler radar. So again, significant or reports of damage to a mobile home park down there across the Calera area, and some other damage down there too, likely significant from this tornado. Again, nighttime tornadoes, very scary, right? We don't like them at all. We don't like tornadoes in general, but not at all at nighttime. So keeping an eye on that. Let's check out that southern storm too. You can see this is where we're looking at that one, that first tornado going through Shelby County. But this one down here is a cause for concern. It does work its way toward the Clanton area, Thorsby area, back toward Maplesville. There's a pretty strong signature of rotation showing up with that one down there as that continues moving in. Let's see here. Let's put up some of the cities it's going to be impacting. Pelcher there around 824, Fairview 830, Enterprise at 834, Highland at 834, Clanton 839. Currently it's 815. So you want to go ahead and be in your safe place. All these areas, Lomax, Cooper, Peach Park area, Durbin Farms 840 here, Thorsby 841. That's when that storm is going to be lifting its way here off to the northeast, just like they've been the last couple of hours. We're seeing more of that popping back up. So all those locations, be in your safe place right now. Rest of Chilton County here is essentially in a tornado warning. So we have the northern part initially here, and now we have the southern part of Chilton County, separate tornado. This is a separate tornado with this one here. So we're watching that very closely here with that. And this could potentially produce a tornado at any moment. The other one did fairly quickly out there. Doesn't look very impressive like some of the other ones did earlier today, but nonetheless, though, right where Alex is drawing there, of course, it just updated. That is our hook echo. That is where we have a little bit of an inflow notch, and that is where our rotation is, right in through there. That is where we're watching closely. So it's just to the south right now in Talladega County, but will be lifting its way north here into Chilton County, working its way across Highway 82 toward the Maplesville area, eventually potentially Thorsby and Clanton are in this storm. Now, right now it's not confirmed yet, but it won't take much. One north of it already had a confirmed tornado, and this one continues to work its way here through the Joinertown area, through East Saginaw, lifting its way northward here. You can see where we're talking about. That is where we're talking about that rotation showing up, and potentially maybe some debris kind of matching up there. Again, it's tricky when you get this close to the radar as to what it would look like, but even still here, that is where we're talking about, that storm lifting to the north. There you go. There's a better perspective of it. Lifting here northward toward Joinertown. So if you're watching us there, safe place, still remain in your safe place here. Will continue its way tracking here to the north, and as it does so, giving us, again, a chance of being a longer track tornado. Already has a history of producing damage in Calera. We're talking about a mobile home park, unfortunately, being impacted by this tornado as it quickly developed. But Joinertown, Camp Ranch area points to the north here. This is where we're talking about that storm. That's that storm we're talking about, that rotation lifting to the north with the history of already producing a tornado with that one. Alex, let's go check on the one over in Talladega County. We haven't talked about that one just a little bit here. Kind of give you a perspective. Doesn't look quite as impressive, but we're seeing kind of multiple areas of some rotation embedded in all this rain. They still look a little bit more impressive earlier. Looks like it hasn't produced anything, but anywhere from Waldo, Curry, Chinabee area, Mumford area, Ritchie-town. Still need to watch this one here. Again, nothing confirmed with it. We're not seeing anything overly impressive here with this storm, but we're still potential for a tornado to develop. And again, it could rapidly develop like we've seen already here just in the last, say, 10, 30 minutes here at this point with these storms. So we're watching this one. Don't want to forget about you in Talladega County here as the storm kind of basically goes right all the way up, potentially going toward Chehaw, Oxford, Anderson. You're not in the warning warning as you go into Calhoun County, but it will be pretty close here, so we'll keep an eye out for that. If, again, there is one, it's likely wrapped up in some rain here, and eventually will be lifting its way north. Of course, we've got some higher elevations. There's Mount Cheaha right now, and continuing that way toward Oxford and Anniston. So if you're watching this in Anniston, Oxford, and Calhoun County, just be ready. This potentially could try to get a little better organized and ramp up quickly. These storms have been really developing fairly quickly out there and working the way off to the north. So Calhoun County, just be on alert. This is something we're watching here. Our main story, though, with the confirmed tornado is this one here, working its way across Shelby County. And for those of you in Shelby County, here we are watching this very closely. Looks like it is right there. Not looks like it is, but Camp Ranch, Joinertown area, heading back toward East Saginaw, Simsville area. Here's Chelsea. Chelsea, be in your safe place. East Saginaw, Joinertown, Simsville, Fungo Hollow area, though. Looks like Alabaster Pelham may be just off to the west of this one here. Again, the tornado warning is going on. Sirens are likely going off, and so are your phones, I'm sure, too. Tracking this one here for you. This is what we're looking at here, Alex. What do we got? We have Joinertown at 8:22. Currently, it is 8:20. 8:28 in East Saginaw. Chelsea High School, Chelsea Park, around 8:31 to 8:35. That is the Chelsea area. We're talking to you. Westover, 8:38. Lee Branch Shopping Center, Lee Branch itself at 8:38. Over toward Abbott Springs around 8:41. Donovan area coming in around 8:48 as well. Over toward a Barber Motorsports Park there, potentially here at 8:49 as it goes farther up there to the north. So if you're one of those areas we mentioned, you need to be in your safe place. Again, we talk about this all the time. Basement, room, closet, middle part of your house. Need to be that. Don't go outside and look for it. This is going to be wrapped in rain. It's going to be, of course, dark outside. You may hear that roar of the wind, and it may be too late by the time you hear that to get to your safe place. So definitely in your safe place. Highway 280 corridor here, crossing over, again, they crossed over Highway 31 earlier here too. So not sure if that's exactly what we're looking at, but it's kind of moving off to the north here. A lot of noise. Again, once this gets away from the radar a little bit, may have a better perspective if we still have a tornado confirmed with this one here. But at one point, it was confirmed there, right where Alex is circling it there. That's the area we were watching very, very closely here with this one as well, too. So again, Shelby County, the heart of Shelby County here, we are under that tornado warning. This is going to go, I think, until 8:45. So we do have that going on. Joinertown, yeah, coming right up your direction there here too. I don't know if you can see some of those roads, Alex, that are popping up too. County Road, let's see, was that 331 at this point? County Road 26 over toward the Joinertown area. So if you're watching us in those areas, that's where a storm is. So if it's right here when we made the circle, it's already jumped its way to the north. So Joinertown, it is headed up your way right now. So shelter now is what we need to be. Let's jump back down to the south here and see that southern storm. If this one's trying to do anything else, still has, again, maybe a little more stretched out rotation with it, but it's starting to get a little more interesting near the Pelcher area right now, and that's where we do again have some of that, more of that broader rotation here tied in to that region, headed over toward the Kinchin area, Fairview, Highland area, lifting its way toward Clanton. If you're watching us in Clanton, again, be prepared for a tornado to head up your way here in the next, say, 20 to 30 minutes. That is where our storm is located. There's Enterprise. Again, this is Enterprise in Chilton County, not the one in southern part of Alabama. Those where we're talking at Lomax as well, too. Isabella, all of this heading up your way. And Pelcher, it is right over top of you right now, crossing from Talladega County on in toward Chilton County here. That's where we're talking about the storm building on in. You can see sort of maybe trying to develop a little bit of a hook here, not quite dealing with a debris ball, but just giving a perspective of timing. Pelcher, obviously, it's over top of you right now. Fairview right around 8:30 at this time, and heading over toward the areas going on in toward Highland there. Coming around 8:15, 8:35. Yeah.
It looks like we've got some transformer flashes in that camera in Shelby County.
Yeah, that's not lightning. Those other ones were not lightning. So, yeah, so that was Shelby County. You said that was from Alabaster looking south? Calera? Oh, that's the Calera area. Okay, so looking to the south. Okay. So we're watching that. Mile marker 232. So yes, okay, I know what that right now we're talking about now. Yeah, so looking to the south there. So again, watching that, you know, possibly power flashes. That's something we look for, a telltale sign of a tornado. But this one, it was at 232. So that's down in the Calera area, looking south toward Chilton County is where we're talking about that one. So near the Calera area looking to the south. I don't know if we'd quite be able to see that from that camera this time of day with all the heavy rain, but definitely looks more interesting, Alex, here with that kind of appendage, if you will, kind of moving on in.
Put a new track on that and call these spots
Go ahead and read
out
those
again.
off.
There you go. Yeah, so again, new track on this. Again, the tornadic part of the storm is near Pletcher. If you're watching us in Clanton right now, keep in mind this is for center of town. Estimated time 8:39. That's not going to be perfect, so you want to be in your safe place here in less than 5 minutes. If you're not already, hopefully you're already
in there watching us.
Yeah, hopefully you're already there. If you're not, we need you to be there in the next 5 minutes. And then long term, we'll look up towards Lay Lake. This could be an issue up on the lake. And then eventually far southeastern Shelby and northwestern Coosa, far southern Talladega, if it holds together. No guarantee that that's going to be the case, but we continue to track that. I don't see much. I was glancing over here at the other screen. I don't see much of a rotation left on that Shelby County storm, but again, we are still pretty close to the radar.
Right.
We'll have to keep a close eye on it.
I think this one may actually take over. Typically, the southern, if you have two storms stacked on top of each other, the southern one usually becomes more dominant since it's robbing all the moisture to the northern one here. And that is what we're seeing down here, too, with a very interesting storm coming in through Chilton County right now. So this one's heading over toward the Kinchin, Highland, Clanton area. Lomax, Thorsby, Jumbo, be in your safe place out there as you get toward the Lay Lake areas Alex was mentioning as well too. This is moving off to the northeast here fairly quickly. This has been moving at roughly about 49 or 45, 50 mile per hour storms as they zip through the area here. So that's something we've been watching here as we go throughout the day today into tonight. So 8:26 our current time right now, and we are not done. We had a little break for maybe 30 minutes to catch our breath, if you will, and now we're back into it again here with these storms that continue to ramp up here and developing across the area. So there is a live look there in Chilton County. That is Jemison right now. So we are talking, again, this is just on the back side of this current storm moving on in. So, but you can just see the wind-whipped rain down there at this point coming in. Looks like kind of a, almost like it's like a hurricane out there. But nonetheless, though, you can see where Jemison is. And again, what we're talking about, again, the kind of some heavy rain out there coming into the area. And this is far enough, again, away from the main storm to the south, but we still have one to the north. You've seen winds 31, 41. It's pretty close, actually, to what it could be because the radar being so close, getting a good sampling of the air there. So that is the camera down in Jemison. Here's still, again, we're talking maybe not be a tornado anymore, but strong winds heading just off there to the east of Alabaster, Pelham area, kind of north of Columbiana. This is heading into Chelsea. So watch out, Chelsea. I know some of the higher elevations coming in, keeping an eye out for that as well, too. And still watching this entire storm as it works its way here off there to the northeast. And go ahead, Alex, call out some of those names we have there, or some of the towns.
This is going to be a new, we'll get a few more of these popping up here. This is a new severe thunderstorm warning. The concern here, damaging straight line winds for parts of Coosa, Talladega, and Clay and St. Clair counties. This is going to include places like Childersburg, Sylacauga, Talladega, Waldo. The warning also including places like Ashland and Pell City and Riverside. This warning in place, oh, I've got it hidden here. This is in place until 9:30. The concern here, destructive straight line winds. Childersburg, 8:31. Sylacauga, 8:36. Estimated arrival times. Talladega, Winterboro, you're looking closer to 8:40 to 8:50. Munford, you're probably looking closer to 9 o'clock. So that is not tornadic, but it can absolutely be impactful. Do want to point out that tornado warning was extended further north into Shelby County. So now Vincent, Harpersville, Brook Highland, Sterrett, Calcis, also under that warning. That goes until 9 o'clock. And there is some rotation there. Looks like maybe another little area of spin This is going to be up near the old flea market. I don't think it's a flea market anymore, but the old flea market.
Yeah.
Over there close to Columbiana, this is going to be, or excuse me, close to Wilsonville, north of Wilsonville, and this looks like it's moving over towards Westover and Harpersville, probably staying just a hair east of Chelsea. But this would be something that doesn't look that dissimilar to what it looked like in Chilton County when it produced a tornado a while back. Don't have any debris showing up, so that's good. But again, that'll be an area of concern. You can see when you just look at the rain part of the radar, the reflectivity, it's clear as mud. This stuff's going to be completely wrapped in rain. It's nighttime. You're not going to see this, so you need to just go ahead and get in that safe place because there is not going to be a view.
Go with the shear rate. I want to show you just I want to point something out here with this. That severe thunderstorm warning, and then where that storm you're watching is right now, kind of the top end of that is where we're looking for possibility of a tornado, and then how it stretches and makes this kind of a backward C. Excuse me. Anytime you see that, the backward C part usually means damaging winds coming in, and this is some strong shear. Childersburg, Sylacauga area, Sycamore, Winterboro area toward Harpersville. Watch out. This is going to be some strong winds coming in, potentially 60, 70 miles per hour. Cannot be ruled out with those. And the northern part of that, it's a kind of a where we're seeing that rotation, Alex. That's something to keep an eye on for here with that rotation as we move forward here. Look at the cameras, or the traffic lights, signal lights. They're kind of just swaying around in the breeze. Nothing too significant there. It's 280 in Doug Baker, you said there, and again, that's in Shelby County. So we're getting closer toward the Chelsea area with these storms as they lift off to the north there. So as we continue on into the evening here, we should see those winds really starting to ramp up as we get toward Chelsea Park area. And there's that area we're watching. This one would be, this circulation we're watching, missing Chelsea area, but from Westover to Harpersville, right there crossing Highway 280, definitely something to keep a close eye on as it get up Highway 231 and eventually working its way north there toward Pell City, but we're not quite to that part yet. But tracking it out here, Alex, go ahead and you can mention some of those that are on that list you got there.
Yeah, we've got Abbott Springs, 837. That's going to be between Westover and Harpersville, so that's going to be probably not too far away from maybe the, pardon me.
You know this area well. You've been past this.
I do. I've just been up
You're
all
not
day.
that far away from there.
Yes. So this is going to be crossing 280 between Westover and Harpersville. Sterrett, Vincent are places in the path of this. Vincent, especially west side of town, you're looking at about 840 or so. Be prepared to be in a safe place now, though. Sterrett, estimated time 8:45. If this holds together, no guarantee it would, it makes its way further north. Places like the Logan Martin Dam, Pleasant Grove would be a little bit later on down the line, 8:50 time frame, somewhere in there. And of course, that would be the Pleasant Grove in St. Clair County. That is not the Pleasant Grove in Jefferson County. So still tracking that confirmed tornado warning. I don't see any sign of a tornado currently on the ground, but again, some suspicious rotation there approaching Highway 280 between Westover and Harpersville. So if you're in that area, we want you in a safe place. That damaging wind threat looks significant from Sylacauga back over past Oak Grove, Childersburg, pushing towards Sycamore, Alpine, and eventually Winterboro. If you're watching us out there, I think that's going to be pretty nasty. And again, the shear rate, as you were pointing out, it's got that backward C look. I don't see as strong of a rotation now into Shelby County, which is good, but that wind threat is significant over Talladega County and northern Coosa County. So good idea to be in a safe place there. At least you want to be in a place where you're not next to windows or external walls. You may not need to hit the storm shelter necessarily in Talladega County, although I wouldn't sway you away from doing it. It's certainly not a bad idea. But these winds are not going to be any joke as they move through Talladega County. The tornado warning continuing for
And so we've got tornado warning in Chilton County right now. Watching
do.
that storm's coming into Clanton as we speak. So for those in Clanton, it's coming into you. Nothing confirmed yet with that one. And we also have a tornado warning for Shelby County. This does include Chelsea area and eventually points toward Harpersville and Vincent. That's that other area Alex was just talking about, coming on in toward the Wilsonville area too. Those are the storms we've been watching here coming on in to parts there of, I guess we'll call it northern part of Shelby County. And then we have that severe thunderstorm warning in effect for parts there of Coosa County, Talladega County, Clay County as well, and parts there of actually into St. Clair County near the Pell City area. That goes till 9:30. Now that is for straight line damaging winds, which Alex was just pointing out through Harpersville, basically curving its way down Highway 231. It looks like at this point to Highway 280 right after they split off there in Sylacauga. So those areas we're watching again for straight line damaging winds, and those areas are under that severe thunderstorm warning. Back across part of the area here we've been watching, not too far away from Wilsonville, back over toward near Chelsea. We've still seen some of that rotation with that. It does not look quite as strong as it once did, but still that allowed the Weather Service to prompt that new tornado warning that goes until 9 o'clock though. For Shelby County. So we're still watching that one moving forward here. So again, recapping again, we have Shelby County and we have Chilton counties, parts of both counties under that tornado warning. In effect, the first one for Chelsea till 9, and it looks like they just
they canceled Chilton.
the Chilton County one. So the only one now we have is into Shelby County near the Chelsea area. However, still strong thunderstorms coming through Jefferson, Thorsby, and Clanton, so don't put your guard down. You are going to be dealing with those coming in. You just do not have a tornado threat at the moment. You just have very heavy rain and gusty winds at this point. But watching those storms coming into the area, though, Childersburg, Sylacauga, right now, very, very strong winds pushing your way. Eventually could work its way all the way to the city of Talladega and heading across part of the western Clay County area too. So we're keeping an eye out for those. And also watching that storm, again, it's pretty close to Harpersville now, Alex. The one we were talking, living right between Westover and Harpersville, that storm as it continued to move in to those regions there is what we were continuing to watch here with potential for maybe a tornado popping up out there. And we're going to continue seeing here this storm as it worked its way from southern Shelby County, now moving into the northern part of the county here. And you can see here's Highway 231, Highway 280, just about that area crossing over with it. Still some gusty winds over in the Chelsea area too. And this storm did produce some damage from what we're understanding here as we get to the southern part there of Shelby County near Calera, where we're hearing about a, Jacob, what do we have?
We've got some pretty disturbing news coming out of the Calera area. Reports of people screaming for help. We understand that a trailer park was hit on 13th Street. Just to give you an idea of what that is close to, that would be DC Smokehouse, L's Kitchen, the Sitco there in Calera, Advanced Auto Parts, Sunset Pools and Spa, Napa Auto Parts, all around that trailer park that was hit. This is just a couple blocks west of Highway 31 that runs through there. And some other reports, person entrapped in a vehicle on I-65 south of the 231 exit. They are not injured. And continuing to really kind of assess the situation here, it is my understanding that the dispatch is all meeting at the City Hall and trying to wait for further instructions. So it could be a pretty significant situation in Calera.
So yeah, so that was the storm that quickly became a tornado here and went through the Calera area. We were advertising it as a tornado warning, potentially developing a tornado. It did. It continued through Calera all the way up here, Highway or Interstate 65 and Highway 31, actually making it all the way here to the north before kind of weakening just a little bit as it passed over near the Doppler radar down there. At the moment, though, we saw some heavy rain, and they're going to continue to assess what was happening down in the Calera area as we go forward here. That is one area we were anticipating a tornado, and it looks like, unfortunately, some significant damage with that tornado as it worked its way northward here, very close to the Doppler radar in the National Weather Service office there. And again, some issues on Interstate 65 southbound there. We haven't discovered this yet, but potentially could have some trees maybe have down there too. So again, looks like that crossed over I-65 right near or north of the Calera area and heading up towards a Joinertown area, and eventually toward East Saginaw. And now what's left of it here is kind of moving its way toward northern part of Shelby County now. And Chelsea, looking at some heavy rain for you right now, but looking at this shear rate, still seeing some gusty winds for you. What's left of that was the storm that showed some additional rotation between Westover and the Harpersville area. Seems to have fizzled out a little bit, but what hasn't died out is this. This is going through Sycamore right now, Childersburg area through Sylacauga. Anytime we start seeing shear, let alone a storm, making a backward C, that means strong winds are pushing it forward. Think like a bulldozer here, but in this case, it is actually wind. So go ahead, put the radar back on it, and that is what we're talking about right through here. So the leading edge of that, that's where your strongest winds are going to be. 60, 70 mile per hour winds, not out of the realm of possibilities with this, and that's why we do have that severe thunderstorm warning in effect, because we're talking about significant damage with that. That goes until 9:30. So this is what we're looking at here. Again, that's that severe thunderstorm warning in Talladega, mostly in Talladega County at this point as well too.
New tornado warning for Chilton and Bibb.
Okay, Chilton and Bibb down to the south here, so that's going to be coming up the other direction here. So this one includes Maplesville area. So we're watching this one here coming out of Perry County, and this is going to go until 9:30. So 9:30 if you in Chilton County. We had multiple tornado warnings now in Chilton County. The only one we have on the books right now here is this one coming out from the southwest. Also flash flood warning, Chilton County, with all the heavy rain we've had here too. Watch for that rising water. This storm we're keeping an eye on here near Valley Grande. Going ahead and let's see what we have. Yeah, we do have, there it is, that rotation coming close to Selma, Valley Grande area there as well too, and kind of giving us a better perspective of some strong winds with that one here. And that is going to continue its track here. Still a little ways till it gets to Chilton County, but it's still going to be moving its way across Highway 80 here near the Selma area back toward Valley Grande and continuing that track off to the northeast fairly quickly here. So go ahead and we'll put a track on this one and lift it here to the north and go to about Valley Grande around 8:47, Ryderville around 9 o'clock, Parnell, Dixie 9:01, 9:04, either Stanton at 9:05, Pelcher, which we have already had one potential tornado for you, coming in there right around 9:07, Adams, Mulberry area 9:07, 9:08, and Maplesville about 9:09 for you. So we do have, again, about almost 30 minutes till it gets to the Maplesville area. Seek shelter now, as we just saw, and we've seen multiple times today. It doesn't take much for these storms to quickly ramp up and try to produce a tornado. I don't think right now we have a tornado down there. We don't, but it won't take much for that to start developing here. So this is the storm we're watching. Again, it's kind of the leading edge here, starting to see that circulation kind of ramping up with this one embedded in that line of storms, and that'll be lifting its way up toward the Maplesville area and impacting western and southwestern part of Chilton County. So the storm we're continuing to watch here, starting to kind of maybe try to be a little rotation already starting to show up there, kind of north of Selma. Selma's not in this warning. Valley Grande area, though, is, and we're going to continue seeing there, again, just there north of Selma, kind of pretty good rotation starting to show up. And again, that track there off to the northeast as we go forward here. So still watching that. That'll be the new one we're keeping an eye on. There's damaging winds coming across part there of Talladega and into parts there of Clay County. And we're still looking at these storms coming on in the northern part of Shelby County, Chelsea, and Harpersville. We were watching initially for a tornado. Still have that tornado warning until 9 o'clock for you. At this point, though, we have not seen significant rotation with anything here, unless Alex, you're seeing something I'm missing here with this one. Looks like what you and I were watching earlier is
new tornado warning for Talladega County, though. That's going to be up towards Winterboro.
Which one that was for? Okay.
Looks like a new comma head almost there.
Yeah, I was just about to say that. I bet that's what that is, because here's that backward C. So Winterboro area, again, new tornado warning here just showing up with this storm here. Again, this is this new tornado warning for Talladega County. Talladega City will be right in the middle of that track. This goes till 9:15. Again, 9:15 here with that one, and putting a track on that one here, showing you this is where we're talking about, lifting right up here to the north and going about 50 miles per hour as well. Winterboro at 8:45 momentarily. Bernie's there right around, say, 8:49. Talladega, City of Talladega there, 8:56. Chakra Springs around 8:56 as well. Howells Cove at 8:58. Arlington there right around 9:02, and going toward the super speedway potentially here around 9:06. Mumford there around 9:08, and Coldwater around 9:12. So if you're in Talladega County, this is basically going up the heart of Talladega County from southwest to northeast here, impacting the City of Talladega, Howells Cove, as well as on in toward Talladega Super Speedway here over the next, say, 30 minutes. So this one we're watching very, very closely. As Alex said, what we try to sometimes see here with these storms is when we go look at, I'll show you here through the shear rate, sometimes the tail end, the northern end of it, of a kind of a comma shape here almost, if you will, starts to spin. It becomes a weak small area low pressure, and it starts to spin a little bit, and that's looks like what we're starting to see here in southern Talladega County. So it may not take long for that one also to become a potential tornado. Right now we're not seeing anything showing up here with respect to debris, but again, it may not be long until we see that. So Winterboro area, Bernie's, Bemston, Talladega, all being your safe place right now. Silicoga Springs, Waldo being your safe place as well too, as the storm continues that track here, coming up here across most of Talladega County here is what we're looking at here. I'll be watching to see if we start to see a little more in the way of that getting better organized and potentially starting to show us. Again, there is some good rotation though, right over top of Winterboro. This is basically going to track right up, looks like Highway 21 here, right toward Talladega, and continue its way toward Curry, Mumford area, and eventually I-20 there to the north. So watching this one here is Highway 77 coming in. That's coming off from the Lincoln area back down to Talladega and going down toward Waldo. So again, we're talking about pretty good, I want to say here, circulation with this one here, and that's why we do have that tornado warning in effect there again until 8:15 or either 9:15 this morning here. So that's one area definitely.
Debris ball or debris signature on it now.
It just showed up. It just showed up. Okay. Yep, there it is. So Winterboro, again, here it is our tornado. Didn't take long, and Winterboro is right over top of you right now.
That's
so
really close to the high school. We are looking at that. What's that, right to the high school? Right next to the high school there.
Right next to the high school. So again, Winterboro, this is our tornado. This is our debris signature. You're looking at the Talladega Super Speedway camera there on the side. We'll watch that because the storm is heading up toward the super speedway, and we're going to continue seeing that lightning there moving on in. So that camera's kind of pointed off to the northeast. We may have to spin that one around a little bit later on. But we do have a confirmed tornado here right now, working its way through Talladega County. Again, right over top of Winterboro. This is going to move right up the highway here as it moves up. Going to continue looking at, again, potential here for some damage coming up. The last couple have done significant damage as well too, but County Road 21, this basically is riding right along that, and we'll continue seeing that. So seeing there's the confirmed tornado warning coming in from the Weather Service. Again, this is going to go here until, again, 9:15. Again, confirmed tornado warning right now. Talladega County, safe place now. You should be in there anyway with the tornado warning, but definitely in there now because we have confirmation here on Doppler radar. We now have a debris indicator here showing up. This is, again, another vantage point of what we're looking at here. Again, this is right in through here, Winterboro, and then it kind of extends down south of there. That is where we have those damaging winds coming through parts of Clay County now, but a tornado has now developed on the top end of this here, the comma head of this, and as that continues its way toward Talladega, could produce, again, some significant damage, as we just already saw across part of Shelby County with that storm here. I do want to go back and look at this other other storm we have to the south, by the way, I don't want to forget what's going on here over towards southern part of Chilton County. Watching this storm north of Valley Grande area. This one here, again, we're watching to see for potential tornado. No debris signature yet here, but we do have, again, some rotation. This is right here through the Valley Grande area. This is going to be lifting its way northward here and heading over toward the Maplesville area. So again, if you're in Maplesville, points to the south, this one is really starting to ramp up as well north of Valley Grande. We're starting to see this storm get a little bit stronger as well too. Let's see if we now with the new update here have a debris. We do not with this one yet, but I wouldn't be surprised if we start to see one here soon with that storm as it also starts to get a little bit stronger and get it more orientated to become a tornado at this point as well too. Again, that's what we're talking about, that Valley Grande area that is working its way off to the north though toward Maplesville with that storm here, giving you a quick storm track. Looks like there's a new tornado warning tied in with that's a flash flood warning still. Right through here, again, through parts of Chilton County. Go ahead and do this here real quick and show you that, again, this one's heading up toward the Jemison area, potentially here. So we are looking at this storm kind of working its way toward Ryderville at 8:56, Parnell at 8:58, Dixie at 9 o'clock, Stanton, Pelcher 9:01 to 9:03, Adams 9:03, Maplesville 9:05, heading over toward Isabella, New Covenant. They're on 9:08 to 9:09. Same for Fairview, Campbell area right around 9:12, and potentially getting into Pleasant Grove and Clanton 9:15 to 9:17 with that storm. But a bigger concern right now is what we have going on here in Talladega County. We have a confirmed tornado here now working its way up the parts there of Talladega County. You can see here with our debris tracker still showing a significant amount of debris coming in at this point here, working its way right up through the Winterboro area. That's where the touchdown would have likely have been, and continuing its track up here toward eventually toward the Bemston area and right up the highway county, the county road 27 there, I think is what we're looking at here, or 21, County Road Highway 21 we're talking about here. So if you're watching us in Bemston, this is headed right toward you. If you're watching us in Talladega City, this is headed right toward the city of Talladega. Again, this is now a confirmed tornado right over the Bernies area here, heading its way up County Road 21, basically taking the entire road up there, Highway 27 as well, and going right in toward the city of Talladega. Be in your safe place right now. This is likely going to be a fairly large and quickly developing tornado here as it lifts its way up toward the city of Talladega here. We're watching this one. It is going to continue being there. Has not shown any signs of weakening. Let's give you a better perspective here and kind of give you a track on what we're talking about with this one here moving forward. And it looks like it'll be arriving right up there toward the Egan Super Speedway area as we go further to the north here. Let's see, it gets into the areas here. Let's break it down for you here. Talladega, 8:57. Currently, it's 8:50. You have 7 minutes, Talladega. Safe place now. Confirmed tornado here headed right up toward the city of Talladega. Shaco Springs, 8:58. Bethlehem, 9:07. Chinabee, 9:07 as well. Talladega Super Speedway near the Lincoln area, though, 9:09. That storm will be there. We have a confirmed tornado at this point as well, too. Mumford around 9:11. Coldwater, 9:15. Burns Crossroad 9:16, save for Kentucky, over toward Anderson Army Depot, potentially here around 9:18, and Effleton there right around, let's see, I should see that 9:19. So this is where we are. This is what we have right now, a confirmed tornado heading right to the city of Talladega. Again, this tornado warning is in effect until 9:15. It'll be at 8:57 Talladega. That's when it's headed your way. So be prepared. Be in your safe place right now here in Talladega County. The entire county, just watch out. The storm's going right up Highway 21, Highway 27 there. It is going straight into the city of Talladega, and so you need to be in your safe place as the storm comes close and closer to potentially going right over the heart of Talladega, downtown Talladega. Here's where it is. The last shot, it's probably up here toward the Bemston area as we speak. Remember, when you see it here, it's like taking a picture. It's a quick shot of it, and the storm continues to move, and they're moving about 50 miles per hour. So with that in mind, they're going to zip up that direction though fairly quickly. So Talladega, again, the sirens are probably roaring, which although you may not be able to hear them, be in your safe place right now. This is looking like it could actually track right up to the city of Talladega here. We can only hope and pray that it starts to dissipate a little bit before it gets up there. But at this point, though, it is continuing that track right to the north here with that strong rotation. This is our tornado right in through here. And you can see I'll draw a circle around where it is right now, and you'll be able to see how far it jumps when the new update comes in. But this is headed right into the heart of downtown Talladega. Looks like here maybe some of that debris is not quite as impressive, which is good. If it turned blue, I'd be really more concerned here with some significant debris showing up there. You're looking at a live Talladega Super Speedway camera there on the side, and that actually is going to be, we'll be watching soon. That camera, I don't know, Alex, can you see if you can turn, may not be able to see much though because it might be too dark, but turn that camera 180 degrees.
Access the link and it's just down. It's not working.
It's not working, okay.
So
Yeah, so that is what we're going to continue to watch, though. The Super Speedway, of course, is the northern part of the county. It's not in the city, right? It's up here along I-20, as all of us know from many times we've been out there. But that could potentially head right toward the Super Speedway as well, too. So we'll be watching to see that popping up as well into the next little while here. But in the short term, still watching this storm as it continues to head its way toward Talladega. Let me go ahead and see, look here. Yeah, I see that right now. I'm looking at it there, the different parts of the velocities showing up.
may have occluded.
That would be, yeah, I mean, that would be good. I mean, I would like to see a weakening before it gets to town. And it's rain wrapped too, so not going to be able to see much of it either. Looking at the shear, still in that area coming into Talladega as we speak. So whatever's left of it there is still going to be showing up. But that is where we are. This is the debris showing up earlier. Right over Winterboro is where it was. And it continuing on this track here and eventually toward the Talladega area here is where it is going at that point. So, yeah, definitely watching to see here when we get the new update what this one shows us as it moves its way toward the city of Talladega, Shocker Springs area, Howells Cove, and eventually up Highway 77 there toward the Super Speedway. We'll keep an eye out for that one here. Again, a good sign. We're not seeing it intensifying here on the debris tracker. So that's at least some good news for us here. But still, if it's weakening, that would be a blessing. They're not heading in toward the city of Talladega right now, but still stay in your safe place. You're still under that tornado warning. It could definitely start to weaken a little bit and then quickly ramp up, as we've seen other storms have done many times so far this evening. So just be prepared for that. Now, we'll still watch that one, but still watching those storms coming there out of the area here. It looks like
TDS on that.
Yep, TDS just popping up on this one here now. This is another storm. This one's coming on in from Talladega County here near Plantersville, and this one's moving on in toward Chilton County right now. So again, this one is ramping up fairly quickly. This is where we're talking about here, right out near Plantersville. That is that new confirmed tornado. TDS just showing up now. The warning hasn't even changed yet. It just happened. Going back over to where the let's see here, the latest radar can show you here. You can see that, oh yeah, that is pretty impressive. Rotation here showing up on radar. And we say impressive because this storm is getting pretty strong. That's why we have a confirmed tornado right now here. This is Plantersville heading its way on in toward Ryderville, Parnell, Dixie, up Highway 22. Safe place now. This is a confirmed tornado by the Doppler radar here, as we have debris indicated with this one as well too. And that rotation continues to be pretty intense. It's moving through that area now. Again, right over Plantersville is where we're talking about. Going over toward that location there. Strong wind shear tied in with it. And of course, we do have the confirmed debris. Ooh. There it is. Ooh, that was really intensifying.
Looks like gauge shear around 160 potentially.
Yeah, this one. So this was a little more intense than we saw up there across part of Talladega County, but still watching this one here. This is now just about to cross into Chilton County right now. Again, we have a confirmation here based off of Doppler radar. We do again have the storm continuing to build its way here off to the north here into Chilton County. Going ahead and preparing you for this one here. This is what's going to head up toward the Adams area, potentially here up all the way toward the Lomax area, getting over toward Adams over on 907 New Covenant. They're right about 914 Fairview at 915 Isabella, 916 Highland at 620, and 926 over in Clanton. Again, this is a confirmed tornado now here. Again, that'll change color in a moment, but we are seeing the debris showing up on the Doppler radar right now. Again, this is down here in Chilton County, almost in Chilton County, coming out of Talladega County into the Chilton County area. We have a confirmed tornado here showing up on the Doppler radar. You can see right when we talk about, I said earlier, if I saw by Talladega, if it showed some of the blues showing up here, that would be intensifying. We didn't see it up there, but we are seeing it down here. So again, watching this one here, again, if you're in these areas, you need to be taking shelter here. Let's kind of read off some of the roads because this is now in Chilton County because it started here when we originally came through. County Road 16, County Road 30, County Road 101, County Road 64. It's moving right up there. You can see there it is, still intense though. County Road 30 right over top of you. That's where we do have this right now as it continues to move on in. That is going to be a significantly strong tornado coming in. When it's this type of blue, it's a lot of debris going into the air. Obviously, you have a lot of woods down here, so it's likely sending some leaves and whatnot into the air, but it's headed right toward Pelcher and really more so the Adams area. If you're watching us in Adams, it is headed right to you, dangerously close to Highway 22, Ryderville, Parnell area, Dixie, Stanton area. This is going to be maybe just mile, if that, from your location here, heading to Highway 82, crossing over the Adams area, and it'll continue its way here off towards, say, Isabella, New Convert area, back over toward Fairview, and heading toward Maplesville, dangerously close to you as well, too. So you need to be in your safe place right now with this storm. Again, a confirmed tornado here, down here in Chilton County now. It is all into Chilton County, a significantly likely large tornado working its way here into southern part of Chilton County, headed right toward the Adams area. Here's Highway 82 and the intersection of Highway 82 and 22 near Maplesville intersection with this storm. That is our main storm we have going on down there. And again, up the way, we do have the other one we're still watching here back across part there of the Chilton County area. Let me go ahead and bring that one back in, and that one is over Talladega as we speak. Looks like this one though has not been quite as bad for Talladega. Let me go ahead and just kind of give you an idea here. The stronger winds are coming on in, and we are looking at that rotation into Talladega. We don't have the debris signature anymore though, which is good news, but that circulation is over top of the city of Talladega. Stay in your safe place if you're watching us in Talladega right now. Again, it's likely going to be a rain-wrapped tornado. You're not going to be able to see it as it works its way through town. Same thing with the southern one here, moving on into southern part of Chilton County. As we continue to work the way here, that storm is going to be coming in really close to Maplesville. You can see here just kind of drawing out. This is the storm and kind of wrapping around right through there. That's our tornado as it moves on into that area there. And so going to show you here again, showing with the debris. There it is. And Alex, this is becoming a fairly large tornado, it looks like, here in southern part of Chilton County right now. Again, everything's lining up with this and with where our rotation is really centered. Very strong rotation, persistent rotation as well, too, and continuing to see that becoming quite impressive. Maybe even a secondary rotation trying to build back here over toward the Stanton and Dixie area right now with that. So that is inside there. This would be somewhat of our debris ball showing up here on the radar as well as it kind of wraps around that location here. So our line of storms coming on in. We have that significant tornado down there as well. This looks like consistent to be a fairly large tornado heading right into the town of Adams. If you're in Adams, seek shelter immediately. Try to get below ground. This is a large tornado headed your way right now, coming on in toward the Adams area. Kind of just here's Highway 82, here's Highway 22, and it continues to move through closer to Adams. Looks like it may have peaked in intensity here as it crossed just over this county line, but nonetheless though, still a tornado. It's over Adams right now as we speak. I know it shows right here, but remember it's moving at about 50 miles per hour, so it's over the Adams area as we speak. So you are dealing with this tornado right now over Adams. County Road 17, County Road 16, County Road 333. We're going over toward Highway 82. It's about to cross over there. County Road 45. If you're in those areas around the town of Adams, be in your safe place. This tornado is moving in. It was a strong tornado, may have lifted and weakened a little bit here, but still showing significant debris as it crossed over County Road 64. It crossed over County Road 101, County Road 330 as well, and crossed in from Talladega County here and lifting its way here to the north. So this is over Adams as we speak. It continues to move its way here to the north. Again, in Adams, heading its way potentially toward Isabella, Fairview area as well too. Hopefully it's gone through its motions here and starting to weaken a little bit. Look at their well, not really weakening that much as it gets into Adams right now. That rotation is still very, very intense here. Heading up toward Isabella, be in your safe place, crossing over Highway 22 eventually there, and then beyond the Isabella could work its way up toward Thorsby and Jemison with this intense thunderstorm with intense rotation showing up here across just south of the Maplesville area. Looks like it may be just missing the Maplesville area, but we're going to continue seeing that one moving on in. We have a confirmed tornado. Again, this one's till 10 o'clock for Chilton County. Assume that's for the same warning. We're watching this one here. Downstream warning, okay, for that confirmed one. So this one will be moving just there off to the southeast of Maplesville, eventually very close to Clanton, Thorsby, and Jemison, where that new tornado warning, again, a confirmed tornado warning is in effect because of that storm down there in southern part of Chilton County. Again, we were talking about a confirmed tornado here based off of what we've seen on a debris tracker. That's where it's located here. It's heading its way up toward Jemison, Thorsby, heading toward the Clanton area. So if you're watching us in those areas, we're keeping an eye on it. Be in your safe place right now. That's where the storm is headed at this point. So that's the one storm we're watching down there. As we go further up there toward, say, Talladega County, fortunately not seeing anything else developing with this one here after confirmed tornado earlier here in Talladega County. Looks like it may just have lifted, fortunately, a blessing right before it hit the town of Talladega. So then that's the one we're still watching. There still has been a little bit of some rotation with it, not near as impressive, nor is that wind damage, Alex, we were watching earlier. If you want to jump in and see there, it looks like that's not quite as intense as that once was for us.
No, it's hard in a situation like this not to just be completely drawn in to this ongoing situation now in Chilton County near the town of Adams. Again, the new tornado warning and the old tornado warning, places like Maplesville, Isabella, Fairview, Highland included, but also want to point out Clanton, you are in this warning. Gap of the Mountain, Thorsby, Jemison, Jumbo. Also want to point out for folks in Shelby and Coosa County, Weguffka, Stewartville, back over to Blue Springs, Marble Valley, Lay Lake, Dogwood Point, over towards the far southeastern corner there of Shelby County near Wildwood Shores. Also included in this tornado warning, that goes until 10 o'clock. A large and extremely dangerous tornado is near the town of Adams in Shelby County, close to County Highway 16. This is going to be approaching Highway 22, probably a little east of Isabella. Nobody needs to be on Highway 22 right now between Maplesville and Clanton as this storm moving north and east. Again, very intense circulation showing up here. We'll show you some of the wind speeds the radar is picking up on. Keep in mind this is above the ground, but that's let's see, 80 and 70. So that's going to be about 150 mile an hour shear that the radar is picking up. So very intense circulation. Again, the debris signature still significant there too. It's very circular, which is usually still a pretty good indication that that updraft is still pushing the debris up rather than it falling back down. So very dangerous storm here. And again, we want you in your safe place as this moves north and east. Fairview, 9:10 estimated arrival time. Clanton, estimated arrival time, 9:18. You need to be in your safe place. All right, this is Highway 31 in Clanton, so we're waiting and watching as that storm moves closer and closer to the city of Clanton. Now, I will say, depending on how this moves, if it doesn't wiggle, this might be west of town proper, but you need to be in a safe place regardless because, again, this is not a storm you want to mess around with on a day like today. Again, just a very dangerous storm there that we're tracking that is going to be a little east of Maplesville It will not be long, Maplesville, before we can give you an all clear, but places like Fairview, Highland, Isabella, Clanton, Lomax, Thorsby, Gap of the Mountain, Jemison, Jumbo, you need to be in a safe place right now. Again, we continue to keep an eye on the sky there in Clanton. You see the frequent flashes of lightning, and I'll tell you, that's about all you're going to see on a night like tonight is lightning and rain. You're not going to see this thing. It's completely wrapped up in the heavy rain. I'm going to circle here. You can see where Dave has circled the debris signature there. I don't know, Dave, if you can switch over to the reflectivity and just show the radar real quick and let people see. So you see where the circle is? It's completely surrounded by very heavy rain. There you go. There's highlighting the debris, and there's no break in that rain anywhere nearby, not within probably at least a mile or two. I mean, it's just heavy rain completely surrounding this thing. You will not see it until it hits you. So you need to be in a safe place as this moves in. You're not going to see it. As a weather nerd, I understand the urge to stick your head out the back porch, take a look. This is not the night to do that. Go ahead and get in your safe place. You can take a look around once these storms are clear, see what kind of damage there may have been left behind. If there is any, hopefully in your backyard you don't have any, but we need you to be in that safe place. Again, this storm's still incredibly impressive, still a very strong circulation near the town of Fairview now. This is going to be close to County Road 15, County Road 341, County Road 340, and it is rapidly approaching Highway 22, and it will cross it between Isabella and Clanton. If you live west of Clanton, close to Highway 22, you need to be in a safe place right now. Clanton, let me highlight some things for you. Clanton is up here. It's right under the Window World logo there, right on the top right part of your screen. Isabella is over here, and it's right to the right of the X there. This tornado going to be crossing Highway 22 between those spots, somewhere in that region there most likely. So if you're watching us in Isabella, Clanton, you need to be in a safe place, but especially if you maybe aren't in the city proper of Clanton but live west of it. Get in your safe place now, and then we're watching over towards Lomax, Thorsby, Gap of the Mountain, Jemison, potentially, depending on how this thing tracks to. We want you in a safe place. This is a dangerous tornado and one that you need to give respect. And again, we say this not to scare anybody. We may have lost that Clanton camera there. that last lightning strike you saw at freeze on, that may have been the end for that one for a little while. We'll see if we get that back. But we say all this not to scare you. That's not our intent. Look, we can get through this. We can get through these storms, but you've got to take action now. If you're in this tornado warning in Chilton County, you need to get to your safe place. It's going to be the lowest floor of a site-built structure in an interior room. We're talking typically, if you've got it, a storm shelter or basement, that's number one. Best thing you can do, get underground. If you can't, lowest floor of a site-built building, you're looking for typically on the ground floor, bathrooms, closets, something that doesn't have, that has no walls that face the outside. You want interior rooms here. If you can do that, we'll make it through this storm, okay? We'll get through this, but you've got to take action now to protect yourself. Again, I know it's Saturday night at 9 o'clock. It's the last thing you want to be doing. It's Saturday night at 9 p.m. But just take this moment to take those precautions, get in that safe place. It'll be gone here in just a few minutes, and you can go about the rest of your Saturday evening. But right now is the time to take action to protect yourself, protect your family, protect your pets as this storm is on the way. And again, it looks like a very intense and significant tornado ongoing in Chilton County right now. Dave.
That's right. Looking at the latest here with the shear, this is going to be crossing basically where our tornado is located near Fairview right now and heading up Highway 22, eventually on in toward the Clanton, Lomax, Thorsby areas Alex just mentioned. But again, the best way to showcase where it is again, this is right here. That is our tornado showing up here on the latest with our debris indicator. And this is going to work its way up there to the north as it continues its way through Chilton County, and potentially could go even beyond Chilton County, maybe impacting parts of southern Shelby County as well as on into northwestern Coosa County. So going ahead and giving you another storm track on it, the best thing we can do is where it is now and kind of giving you an idea as it moves quickly, about 55 miles per hour. We're getting into the Lomax area there right now, around 920. Mineral Springs 925, Jumbo at 927. Wildwood Shores at 932, same for Hidden Valley. Quincy at 932 as well. Spring Creek, Marble Valley, Shelby 936 to 937. Moncellar's, Stellars, Blue Springs, and Kiwahatchee looks like around 938 again. So that could also be in parts there of northern Coosa County with this holding together. Now this storm has not weakened thus far. We still have that debris indicator showing up quite a bit. Again, if you're watching us, it's near the Fairview area, probably over Highway 22 right now. County Road 15, County Road 30, County Road 230, County Road 76. It is probably there right along State Route 22 as we speak, as it lifts its way there to the north. So we're still watching this one here heading into the Clanton area. So this one is in still rural parts of Chilton County. It has been on the ground here for quite some time. I'll rewind this and kind of show you just where it began, not too far away from Plantersville, right there. This is where it started here around 8:54 in the Plantersville area, and we'll fast forward here all the way to where it's located over Adams, and again now sitting right here again at 9:13. So we're talking about 20 minutes on the ground right now, and has moved quite a bit here, about 14-15 miles already in that time frame. So the storm is moving fairly fast, continuing to work its way there to the north, and still producing some really rotation with that. We're still looking at that with that storm right now as it moves on in toward the more central part of Chilton County. Still, again, have a tornado warning here, seeing some broad rotation in Talladega County. Not seeing any sign of a tornado debris signature with this, but starting to see some new development here, separate from what we were looking at earlier, with possibility of a tornado trying to form there in parts of Talladega County, along with some very, very heavy rain coming in from this as well. You can see we do have that rotation showing up there right now into parts there of Talladega County. So watching that one, and the more impressive one here, of course, is our confirmed tornado down here in Chilton County. So that is a confirmed one. This one near Talladega, watching closely for possibilities for it to try to be confirmed. Nothing to worry about in the short term, but other than be in your safe place right now. Do not get out of it. We have another storm trying to produce a tornado as well, but definitely watching this one here coming dangerously close toward the Clanton area. And this one is, again, rain wrapped, so you're not going to be able to see it. It is in the midst of this heavy rain north of the Fairview Highland area, more or less right along Highway 22 at this point is where it is, closing in on Thorsby, Lomax, and the Clanton area. Still showing up here with a debris signature, not as intense as it once was, but it's still moving there quite a bit and still bringing in the threat for a tornado as it moves through, but still has some very strong rotation. It was stronger a little earlier. I'm going to go backwards a little bit here and show you the intensity was much stronger as it went over Adams, right over the maybe just to the southern part or eastern part of Adams. And then now where it's located here, looks like it has weakened some at this point. This is where it's located. And so that's where we've been dealing with, again, that tornado. So still showing up on the debris tracker with that storm as it continues to move off to the northeast. You need to be, again, taking shelter immediately here as we're still watching over this as it moves on through the area too. Also seeing some reports here of some heavy rain causing flooding, 2 feet of water over the roadway on County Road 84 in Calera right now. So we're starting to see that as moving, and then from the heavy rain from earlier today. But we still have those tornado warnings, which is pretty significant with this here as the storm still moving its way closer to the Clanton area and maybe Lomax, Thorsby is where we're looking at here with that storm as it continues to move on in. There's a live look at a camera in Clanton. We'll keep an eye out for that right now, our traffic camera there. But here is where our debris is right now. This is where our tornado was, probably closer to Highway 22 again now as it's moving here off there to the northeast toward the Lomax, toward the Clanton area. And so we'll continue seeing this one here, maybe seeing some of that debris finally kind of lifting a little bit because we looked at the rotation with it. It did not look quite as intense as it once did. Still showing up, but again, not as intense as it once was there when we saw these brighter colors showing up. But this is headed very, very close toward Clanton. May just kind of clip the far western side of Clanton near the Lomax area, and it continue on that track toward the Gap of the Mountain before continuing its way up toward maybe Jumbo area or even beyond at that point. So again, you can see we do have those tornado warnings in effect here through the 10 o'clock hour with that. Go ahead, put back on the reflectivity and show you it's embedded in this heavy rain. So you're not going to be able to see it. These are all high precipitation supercells here when you have a tornado wrapped around the rain, rain wrapped around the tornado, I should say. So that is what we're looking at as it builds its way here closer toward Clanton and eventually working its way up there across part of Coosa County, kind of briefly maybe a small piece there of southeastern Shelby County and through the rest there of the Chilton County area. Again, still showing up with debris on the debris indicator now, and that's where we're talking about, right through here. So this is going to be coming pretty close toward the Clanton area, probably crossing Highway 31, Interstate 65, with at least that rotation. May not have been still a tornado on the ground, but we're still watching it closely enough here to give us an idea of where it's be tracking and where it's going to go. Again, not showing as much debris with that, which is good news. Like to see that. That means the storm has weakened. The tornado not near as strong as it once was south of Maplesville area toward Adams when it went right over the Adams area with that storm. Let's go back here, and this is what we call a shear rate. Still seeing that strong shear here near the Clanton area. Again, looks like it may be moving just off to the maybe west and northern side of the Clanton. May feel the impacts of that as well, too. Still seeing some strong gusty winds in Sylacauga, and we'll go back here to the north. No longer have that tornado warning for Talladega County. That is some great news. So if you were seeking shelter for the tornado, you don't need to be, but we do have a new severe thunderstorm warning in effect here for parts of Cleburne County and into Calhoun counties here, including Weaver, Anniston, Oxford area, as a strong gusty winds coming through the Oxford area right now. We'll go ahead and take a look here and just show you what we're talking about with that as those winds come on in here. Oops, I meant to say reflectivity here. Again, that's that storm moving on in. It's the one that we've been watching coming up Talladega County, but fortunately not showing the rotation. Now, as Jacob talked about an hour ago, I guess it's been now, conditions were starting to become more favorable for tornadoes here in the eastern part of the state. Let's hope that doesn't get too favorable here, because we've seen some storms coming on in here, kind of building right their way through the region and producing the threat for some tornadoes here. But this one, not a tornado threat. You can see here with that debris indicator, we don't have any kind of debris to worry about here, but we do have some strong winds coming in, and that shear coming on in toward the Oxford area here, and not too far away from Delta, Mount Cheaha, some gusty winds likely on top of the mount there. This is going to continue its way across Calhoun County and eventually into Cleburne County with that storm as it builds its way off there to the north. But we're still watching a couple more stronger storms coming on in. Childersburg, Sylacauga area, though, right along Highway 280, Highway 231 split. Maybe some strong storms coming in, and then back down farther to the south. Again, this is our storm here near the Clanton area. We were keeping a close eye on with respect to that tornado. Now, not seeing much of any debris at all at this point, so good news there. Not dealing with that anymore across part there of Chilton County, but still could see some heavy rain, some flooding concerns already, some flooding issues in Calera on top of the damage from an earlier tornado that winded its way through parts of the Calera area there. We're getting reports of damaging a mobile home park out there as well, and we're still looking at the threat for some heavy rain with this one. So let's go ahead and check out the velocity again here. Oops. And showing that we still have that rotation. It's becoming what we call more broad or more widespread as it works its way in toward Clanton. Still there, your reds and greens, but they're not right next to each other like they once were. They're kind of spread out a little bit. So this circulation is moving right over Clanton right now. So you can see we have one area here, maybe just off to the west of Clanton, maybe another area rotation trying to develop to the south there. So we'll have to watch for that too, because sometimes the storms have one area that's dominant for a while, then it lifts, and the second area becomes more dominant. And that might be something we're trying to see here, try to develop not too far away from the Cooper to the Filatco area though as well, near Clanton. So Alex, have you seen any reports
We did have a report come in. I would assume this is probably going to end up being outside of what we would consider the normal city limits, but we do have a report of a house that was destroyed on Highway 82 in Maplesville. So that would have been this storm.
That would have been that one. Yep.
Again, we are getting some reports out of this from southern Chilton County that this has produced some damage, and that's not a surprise based on what we have seen so far out of this storm. Again, the area of concern right now is right over downtown Clanton. I think this thing's actually jogged a little east here over the past few minutes. Initially, it looked like it might stay a little bit west of the city. But right now moving right over the heart of Clanton. Again, we don't have confirmation of a tornado at this point. We had a confirmed tornado earlier. As of now, this is all just radar indicated circulation, but we are still keeping a close eye on this. Again, these storms have sometimes dropped tornadoes, stopped the tornado, and then a new one formed. So we'll continue to track this really closely as it moves through the rest of Chilton County and eventually could impact far southeastern Shelby County and northwestern Coosa County too. That warning still in place until 10 p.m. So we're still here tracking this stuff with you. As we head through the rest of the evening. The flood threat's still significant. Again, we had the report of water over the road. I'm trying to remember, I don't have that in front of me, which road it was in Calera. That was County Road 84 in Calera, about 2 feet of water over the road there. So there are some flash flooding issues that are popping up, especially in parts of southern Shelby, Chilton, and again, the concern extends into Coosa and Talladega counties too, where the rain has been pretty heavy through the past several hours. So we are starting to see some things clear out. Some good news, we'll give you that. I'm going to draw a line here, sort of bisecting some of this stuff. If you're back here to the north and west, you're done. Tuscaloosa, Utah, Greensboro, Fayette, Jasper, Birmingham, Coleman. The threat's over. No more severe weather for you today. You are done. The threat continues, though, where these heavier storms are continuing and points to the east. And again, we do think that there's still plenty of potential here for more tornadoes through the rest of tonight. Dave.
All right, Alex. Yeah, so the big story now we're watching, though, is going to be that storm through the Clanton area. Fortunately, I'm just kind of looking back down to the south. I don't see anything in the immediate concern outside of what we're watching in Clanton. There is another storm coming up through the Selma area. This one does have some signs of rotation to it as this one is moving off there. We're going to put this in motion here, building up here to from the southwest and northeast. This one could potentially clip the areas further back or further off to the east, maybe toward Coosa County. Kind of resetting here for you real quick. Just want to give you an idea of what we have going on across the area. We are looking at really Birmingham off to the west. Things are over with respect to some severe weather. We're not looking at anything more going on there. Things are drying out for us here. The severe threat continues on that line here from roughly more or less I-59 here to the south is where we're seeing it. You go north of that, still dealing with some rain showers out there, maybe some flooding concerns left over, but that tornado threat will continue there from Clanton area, potentially here if it works its way through parts of Sylacauga and heading over toward Anniston. And we'll be watching that one as it moves forward here. Farther to the south, as mentioned, is watching this thunderstorm here near the Selma area. It is starting to show some signs of rotation here. This one's kind of more moving off to the east-northeast and maybe more of an impact in Montgomery, Wetumpka, possibly Coosa County, maybe Tallapoosa counties over the next hour here as these storms continue to move in. And as they zoom out even more, we have some more storms down to the south. Fortunately, a lot of these, if they form, are not going to impact Birmingham metro area, but rather closer toward Montgomery, maybe Auburn, Tuskegee area, Troy. We'll need to watch these. There are only severe thunderstorm warnings right now, but that's how they typically have started with this. And then we still eventually have those confirmed tornado warnings. That storm with that strong rotation right over Clanton need to be still in your safe place right now in Clanton as those storms continue to move their way off to the northeast at about 50-55 miles per hour. And the tornado warnings we had earlier for Talladega, they have now ended, which is good. So if you were in your safe place, you can go ahead and come out, but stay in your safe place here across Chilton County as we're still watching that storm work its way through the Clanton area. Looks like it's just about to pass Clanton now the bulk of that rotation and heading over maybe closer toward eventually the Lake area. Go ahead and stop the radar here and go back to that rotation, just kind of show you what we have. Yes, the rotation, which was over Clanton, has now kind of shifted more closer toward eventually the Coosa River Lake area here. So we still have that rotation present here. So we're still going to be watching that. This tornado warning does go in effect, though, for parts of northwestern Coosa County. So we're going to be watching for you as well, as that goes until 10 o'clock this evening, 9:27 our current time, as that rotation kind of moves on in. Let me take another vantage point here of that rotation. And yes, it's still present here. I don't think we have a confirmed tornado tied in with that. We don't at this time, but still watching that as it lifts to the north. It'll be moving over parts there of Coosa County. This is what we're talking about, this area of rotation here. So bulk of this is still in that tornado warning, and we'll continue to watch this one here. It is moving over, yes, a very rural area, but as it moves off there to the northeast, eventually here, whoops, not watching here, about 54, heading toward the Quincy area around 9:36, Marble Valley at 9:43, Fayetteville 9:52, Nats Quarry there at 9:55, and Oak Grove, not the one in Jefferson County, at 9:57. So still going to watch that. Again, not a confirmed tornado any longer. It was just a little bit ago, but seeing that strong rotation still showing up here, and with the track that it's going to be taking here, this is what we're looking at with respect to where that rotation is. And sitting close to the Coosa River right now, heading into Coosa County, about to get into the Lake area with this as well too. So let me kind of tighten the zoom up here. Again, you can see Quincy area, Hidden Valley, Gold Branch area, Dollar. This is all where we're watching that rotation building up into this area. A couple of years ago, we did have that over the Lake area, that tornado coming through there, causing some of that damage. So still going to continue seeing this one moving on in. And again, not a confirmed tornado yet. We're still seeing a broad or larger wide rotation to this storm, and eventually it could try to redevelop. Now, this area has been worked over with a lot of thunderstorms lately, so hopefully a sign that the storm will continue to weaken here. But at the moment, we still have some rotation tied in with this one. So if you're watching us here, anywhere from the Quincy area, Gold Branch area, Hidden Valley, Marble Valley, Blue Springs, be in your safe place right now. The storm is about to cross the river and heading on into northwestern part there of Coosa County, as it builds its way here, eventually possibly toward the Sylacauga area. So we'll have to wait and see if it does continue that track. Right now, the rotation is still present with this one, so we're still going to continue watching that one here, potentially moving in towards Sylacauga. But we do have that tornado warning in effect here, again till 10 o'clock, and it's 9:29 right now, our current time here. So as this circulation continues to sit there, we'll have to wait and see if it tries to revamp up again and try to get a little bit stronger at this point. Outside of that, though, again, the storm we were watching farther to the south here still has that rotation. Actually, it's getting maybe a little better organized, or trying to, between Selma and Montgomery area. We'll watch that one to see, because that could eventually try to track its way here, possibly in toward Coosa County, the southern part of Coosa County, following the wake of this one that's been lifting to the north. So right now, no tornado warning with that one. Looks like that severe thunderstorm warning has allowed to be expired here at this 9:30 time. And we still again have the severe thunderstorm warning in effect for parts of Calhoun and Cleburne counties, also into parts there of the Heflin area. This is for a strong storm moving in toward Anderson, Oxford, and Weaver, back toward the Jacksonville area as well. You can see here, we're showing the radar what we're talking about. That's the storm moving in, bringing you the chance for some 60, maybe 70-mile-per-hour winds as this moves in. So we're still continuing to watch this one here pretty closely. Upriver, the strong winds for you. That severe thunderstorm warning goes into effect until 10:15 for you in Calhoun County. So Oxford, Anderson, be careful. We have those strong winds coming on in. Another vantage point we'll show you with that would be the wind shear, and you can see here it's weakened some, which is good, kind of moving its way off to the east of you, but still can produce some gusty winds in that area. Childersburg, still some gusty winds coming in, but we're still watching this area here. Coming on into parts there of Coosa County, as well as just a sliver here of southeastern part of Shelby County and into eastern parts there of Chilton County. Looking at that.
sort of a polygon issue there. They are canceling Shelby, but they're sticking with Chilton and Coosa.
Okay, I got
So that
you.
new
Yeah.
red box is what we've got.
The new, okay, I got you. Yeah. So I see it now. I see it starting to flash up there now. Okay, cool. All right, so yeah, that's what we're watching with that one here too. So again, we don't have any kind of debris showing up with the storm here, but we still have that rotation we just showed you with that one going on forward here with that storm. So that's basically that rotation coming just over the Coosa River now, and you can see that red box is the new tornado warning that's in effect here. So for those of you in Coosa County now, you have that tornado warning still, but this is going to go here until a little beyond 10 o'clock, I think, with the new one coming in. So still going to watch that here as it moves on in, not too far away, just south of the Quincy area, not too far from Dollar, as this continues its track here up to the north, right basically on the edge of that box toward Gold Branch and Wagufka area, potentially getting in on some of this. So looks like Alex is not done yet with this one here. It's still trying to go through some kind of cycling here.
Yeah, and again, in the southern end of that warning, you were noticing that over near Dollar, that rotation still showing up there. A little bit of more of a linear look now, but a little bit of a kink in the line here. You can see how it kind of has a line, but then right in here, right where I've got that circle, it looks a little bit tighter, a little bit squirrely looking there. That's usually a good indication that something's trying to go on there. We'll pop the shear rate on. Sometimes that can help illustrate this a little bit better. Certainly some strong winds, and this will extend south of the warning. So if you're watching us in places like, say, Kelly's Crossroads, Lisle, Rockford, Hanover, Bentleyville, you're not under a tornado warning, but you got some nasty wind headed your way from this storm. They might end up, we'll see what the Weather Service does, that might end up needing a severe thunderstorm warning a little later on. But the southern end of this polygon here, again, just to the north of Dollar, is where that circulation is the most concerning based on the way it's set up. And now the new scan there, sort of a gate-to-gate couplet, really tight circulation there between Quincy and Dollar. This is going to be over past the river and extending up. If you're watching us in Weagufka right now, you need to be in a safe place. Same for Gold Branch. We'll check the debris signature here. We don't have it. That's good. But again, with the circulation that tight, there may be a tornado ongoing there. So if you're watching us in Gold Branch, Quincy, Weagufka, Stewartville, you need to get in a safe place right now. If you're watching us in southeastern Talladega County, there's no warning for you, but this storm may impact you later on. This would be from the probably eastern side of Sylacauga and points southeast, so it's not much of the county there. And there you go, new tornado warning for a much larger swath of Coosa County. And I think the anticipation here is, yes, we've got that circulation that we're watching now, but we may see more of those tighter circulations pop up further and further south as this storm continues to move through Coosa County. So Rockford, Cruzville, Goodwater, Kellyton, you need to get in your safe place right now. Kelly's Crossroads, get in a safe place, but it certainly looks like we may have either a tornado developing or it's ongoing now between Dollar and Quincy. This is going to be pretty close to County Road 125 there in Coosa County. And again, this is going to be making its way up towards Gold Branch and Weagufka. So if you live that way, you need to start making your way to your safe place now. Again, this is a confirmed tornado. It's right here. That is your tornado as seen by radar, debris in the air. And again, Weagufka, I know there's some folks that live out that way. Gold Branch, Unity, Quincy, and again, this is going to be spots into the northern end of Coosa County, but keep in mind much further south, we're going to continue to watch as some additional development may be possible as this entire storm system lifts north and east through Coosa County. Additional tornadoes could spin up. So course of least regret, it's the middle of the night. There's rain everywhere. Go ahead if you're in this warning, and that goes as far southeast as Rockford and Kellyton, and Kelly's Crossroads, and even Richville. If you're in the warning, go ahead and get in your safe place right now. Dangerous storm in Coosa County. Dave. Or we'll go back to Dave.
Yes, so yeah, that is the storm we continue to watch here. Jacob, whenever you're ready, just go ahead and give me a go ahead with that. Yes, that is the storm. Again, we're looking at the shear rate here. It's kind of a perspective with this one here. Again, confirmed tornado with this one here already showing up here. Again, there it is. I mean, we're just looking at it showing up right along that county line. So this is working its way here through County Road, south of County Road 55. A lot of these are just small little town roads though coming on in. But this is headed toward the Gold Branch area and in toward the Weguffka area. Again, as Alex was talking about, this is what we're looking at here. Again, the storm moving fairly quickly once again, and so brings it in toward Hanover. 9:51 Sylacauga, around 9:58. Again, if it holds together that long, including the Bluebell Creamery. Goodwater around 10:02, Brownsville around 10:04, and Sycamore at 10:05 would be what we're looking at here with that one. Moving forward here with this storm as it continues to track its way to the northeast. So again, need to take shelter immediately with this one here as it continues to work its way off to the north here east fairly quickly at right around, say, 50-55 miles per hour here again in Coosa County. So again, the storm moving around northeast at 50 miles per hour. Jacob?
Yeah, David, just checking through the chat at the is my mic good? It's not coming through good in the earpiece. Does it sound good?
Yep, you're good.
Okay,
you're good.
All right, if we're good. I might be having some problems with my IFB, so I'm going to turn that down just real quick. But just to catch up on the National Weather Service chat, I've been behind the scenes over the last hour really trying to gather a lot of the reports that are coming in, and quite a few, especially around the Maplesville area. Again, this is all associated here with the same storm that produced that tornado that looked like it was on the ground for at least 15 miles or so when it was coming in out of the Dallas area or Perry County area coming up into Chilton County. So this is still nonetheless a storm that is working with a very favorable environment. I did some analysis earlier this evening, and we really talked about how it was important that you don't have a lot of obstruction south of these storms. The storms are taking their inflow somewhere like this. So you have the arrow coming up into the storm. That would be that warm, moist air flowing into that notch. And then on the back side here, you've got those winds being pulled in. And so as soon as you look at the velocity, that is exactly what we have going on. So the winds that you see that are green, that is coming to the radar site, which is located right here around Alabaster. And then on the back side, these reds would be winds going away from the radar site. So where that couplet is right here is exactly where we're watching that rotation. So again, this is in a very favorable area because this is an unworked environment. If you can recall just several hours ago, a lot of the storms we were covering were in west central Alabama, Pickens, Greene, Hale, Tuscaloosa, Fayette, Walker, and even Coleman counties taking some direct hits from several different tornadoes. And then we kind of watched just a little bit of a lull period. We went off for about 30 minutes and then came back because we started to see those trends. If you remember right before we went off earlier, we were starting to say that if we come back on, it's likely going to be this corridor from around just areas south of Bibb County going into Chilton, eventually Coosa, Clay, Talladega counties, and this entire area was completely capped, meaning the storms could not form all day long. There was warm air aloft, there was drier air being pulled in at the surface, so 6 hours ago it didn't look very favorable, but we knew that the model guidance eventually would shift those higher dew points, that better moisture and better environment eventually into places that pretty much stayed sunny and quiet most of the day. So we hope that that did not let anyone's guard down and that people that were impacted by these storms still took it very serious. Nonetheless, we're going to go ahead and zoom back in since we are getting some new radar scans with this circulation. And it is looking like maybe the circulation here is becoming a little bit less of a couplet, but still this is still an impressive enough circulation that the warning is remaining, and this is still the area that we need to monitor. And zooming out just a little bit more just to encompass the newer warning, if you're paying attention to these polygons just south of Gold Branch and Weguffka, this would be areas really north of where the circulation is. This is really just south of Gold Branch, this is south of Weguffka, and this is pushing towards the northeast. So kind of following this line of the older polygon, and that newer one here is expanding for areas for mainly central and northern Coosa County here. So we're going to go ahead and put a new track on this and go ahead and name out some communities that could be in the path. over the next, let's say, the hour or so, because this storm is moving towards the northeast at around 55 miles per hour, so still moving at a very good clip. And that's just another thing to really re-emphasize here is earlier we had the fast-moving storms. That did not change, but now what has changed is the sun has gone down. West Alabama at least dealt with these storms when the sun was up, and now we're looking at a lot of rain-wrapped action, very high precipitation storms. They're producing a lot of rain, and now it's dark, and so this is just not the ideal time, like Alex has been talking about earlier, to try and go out and find these storms. I love to look at the storms too, but we can't do that in a situation like this. So places like Hanover, 952, that would be in the next 10 minutes. Proline Uniforms, 955, Goodwater, 1003, Lake Howard, 1003, Brownsville, 1005, and Roselle at 1008. So those are the communities that I'm seeing here that would be in the path in the next hour. Of course, these storms have continued to cycle in and out, so we see them perk up to producing a tornado for a couple of scans, and then maybe they start to show that that tornado lifted. That is not an indication that the tornado will not touch back down. That is just not how weather works. In an environment like this, it's very chaotic. Everything happening above our heads is very unpredictable, very chaotic. The best we can do is look at the latest radar analysis and try to give you an idea of what is happening on the ground and where it is going. So that's what we're saying with this kind of threat. Right now at the moment, that polygon is purple, meaning that this is a confirmed tornado. Even though that circulation is going to look weaker, it's going to wax and it's going to wane, meaning it's going to strengthen and it's going to weaken as well, just going throughout its different cycles. So we're not really seeing that couplet as well defined, but there's still a debris ball. So that means that we're still seeing that confirmed tornado on the ground. So Wetumpka, if you live just south of Wetumpka, we're going to see if we can get close enough to try and name out some streets that are very close here in the next, I would say, 3 to 5 minutes from potentially taking a direct hit from this. This would be County Road 29, County Road 112, County Road 56, eventually County Road 41 just north of Wetumpka. But if you live in the city of Wetumpka, you have got to be in your safe place now. I can just tell you with the reality of the fact that we have about a 1-minute delay on these radar scans from what's actually happening in real time, that this storm could already be over Wetumpka as I'm speaking right now. So areas just northeast of there, County Road 41, I just mentioned County Road 56. These are the areas that are going to be in the path of this storm. This is our debris signature right here. Here is the town of Wetumpka, and this is pushing towards the northeast, likely going to move right over the city of Wetumpka. So this is a potentially very life-threatening situation for areas that are in the direct path of this. You have to take this serious. You have to take it with the utmost caution, and I cannot stress that enough. When we have debris signatures on radar, that is telling us that not only have we confirmed a tornado, but that tornado is tossing debris high enough, thousands of feet into the air, to give us enough radar signal back to confirm that it is actually on the ground and it is producing damage. Alex, Dave?
All right, we'll go jump to me here. Kind of give you a bit of perspective, kind of bigger picture here. Let's kind of reset and kind of show you what we have going on across all of central Alabama. Obviously, the tornadoes that Alex was just talking about here continue the way through part there of Coosa County and to work their way on in potentially here, maybe to parts of Talladega as well as into Clay counties. Off to the north of that, still severe thunderstorm warnings in effect for parts of Calhoun and Cleburne counties. Straight line winds, those are likely working the way more into Georgia now, or closer to the Georgia area, I should say. Behind all of this, notice nothing. That's it. Things are over for you. Things are improving here in Birmingham proper, back down toward Hoover and toward Alabaster, and you go toward Vance, Tuscaloosa. Things are getting much better weather-wise here. Still some high water in spots. Some river flooding concerns are expected along the Black Warrior River, 10-Tom Waterway as well, so keep that in mind. But still, again, the tornado threat is ongoing. It'll continue here as we're watching very closely that storm with that tornado warning moving its way through parts of Coosa County. As we go further to the south, though, here, whoopsies here. As we go further to the south, we are talking about still some more storms, but notice Down here, there are no other warnings going on down in South Alabama. So that is some good news. Hopefully a sign of things that things are starting to calm down a little bit. Although we thought about that earlier, but we knew based off of what the models were saying that we weren't done yet. That it was not going to end that early. There was a lot more to come. And obviously we've seen multiple tornadoes since that time earlier on this evening. But still going to be watching these storms here for those in Coosa County there as that storm continues on that track. We'll keep an eye out for Clay County and Talladega counties as well. But Interstate 65 corridor here all the way through Alabaster, things are pretty quiet now. It's going to be, things are just going to continue dealing with some light rain showers here as we go forward through the rest of the evening. Go ahead and make this move for you and just kind of give you an idea where this line is moving. The entire system is shifting to the east, but these individual cells are riding from southwest to northeast. Typical. This is what we see in March and April with any kind of severe weather event here across central Alabama. So this has been a busy day. I know some of you still have some anxiety going on. Again, if there's areas here that you're seeing from I-59 to the north, things are fine for you right now. That's some good news. So if you are anxious, take a deep breath. You got through it. Things are looking good. The rest of us south of I-59, south of I-20, we still have some more time to go before this is all said and done. The best thing to be is always informed here. This is the best way to get through it. I'm going through it. My family's going through it. Everyone here as well at the station. So we're all going through this together and we'll get through it together. Obviously, there's been some areas that we had some significant damage earlier and some more damage more recently, especially across the Coosa County area as currently as we speak, and then back further down into Chilton County. So let me go ahead here. Let's go back and kind of talk about what we're dealing with again with this storm here. Showing the shear rate, this basically kind of highlights what some of the strongest shear is. Right now, it's where that tornado is located here in northern Coosa County. So here's Rockford. It's moving through Bentleyville, headed toward Hanover, Highway 231 in Stewartville. Anytime you see our shear product and it looks like an S like this, almost guarantees we have a tornado. And of course here we did have a tornado here, and the debris indicator still showing we have that potential for a tornado. That's not it right there, but we are still looking at that as it continues to build its way here across Coosa County, and it continues its way here further to the north near the Bentleyville area. That is where our center of circulation is, and that's where our tornado is currently located. So let me go ahead and stop that. Looking at the latest relative velocity here. There you see, north of Bentleyville, that's where we're talking about here with that rotation. It's still there. It's still kind of more starting to spread out a little bit, not as impressive, but if you're in Hanover, Bentleyville, stay in your safe place, Stewartville as well. Hollins area, Goodwater, stay in your safe place, Hatchet area, Shady Grove. Again, we're getting into Clay County here, but still need to watch it. That's going to cross over Highway 231 here and eventually over Highway 280 as we get into the northern part of Coosa County. So we're still going to be watching that one moving forward here. And of course, it is wrapped in rain with that here. It's amongst all this mess right now. So as that's about to cross over 231, bringing those areas again, the threat for some damaging winds, obviously a tornado as well too, moving just past the Wagufka area. But going back to the debris here, that's where we're talking. This is our tornado right here. This is where we're continuing to watch and move on through and continuing its way further off there to the northeast. So still not done yet. We still have to deal with this tornado threat across the area. It's going to continue here through at least 10 o'clock. We still have again the tornado watch in effect for the eastern part of the state, trimming its way back to the west here because of storms like this one here, still producing that tornado. So again, you need to be still taking shelter right now in these areas here. It is basically have moved currently over a county road here. Let's see, that's County Road 56, County Road 107 right now here going over toward, let's see, that's the Newcastle, News Miles Road there. Kind of hard to see. It's all scrunched together at this point here. But we will continue to watch that one moving on in toward County Road 56, County Road 59, and Highway 231, County Road 49 as well too. So this is our tornado, and still showing the debris coming up here. So it's been more or less on the ground for quite some time here. The new update showing it's starting to get stretched. And anytime you start seeing that debris stretching out a little bit, that means the debris is blowing downwind of the actual tornado here. So we're starting to see some of that, but it's still well defined here. So we still have to deal with this tornado as we go forward here, and it'll be closing very close to being north of Hanover here and about to cross Highway 59 and then Highway 231 there. So this is where the main thing we're watching. As I showed you earlier when I zoomed out, we didn't really have anything else, so that was good news, but we still have this one here. So we still continue to watch this one, try to keep everyone safe for you here. But again, Stewartville to the north, Hanover to the south here. It's going to go basically split the difference as it crosses over Highway 231 there and heading its way toward Highway 280. So let me zoom out and give you a little bit of a timeline on what we're looking at with the storm here as it moves its way here still pretty quickly. These storms have been moving fast all day, and that's just been kind of the rule with all of these here. But this one, again, moving up around 50 or so miles per hour here, and I'm not going to be able to stretch it out that far, I don't think, so let me reset this one here for you, move the map out a little ways here, and try again here. As we go up here, moving again around 50 miles per hour, it takes its way toward the Brownsville area around 10:09, Roselle around 10:12, Coletta around 10:17, and Carmill at 10:19. So moving its way out of Coosa County into Clay County here. So it's likely we'll see an extension of that tornado warning in effect eventually for parts there of Clay County. So this is still in Coosa County. It looks like it's trying to weaken a little bit, which is good news. The things back in Chilton County have improved. We're not looking at the tornado threat in Chilton County anymore. We still have that warning in effect, though. That goes until 10 o'clock. The one here in Coosa County goes till 10:15. So we'll be with you during that time frame here as we continue to watch this one move its way here through parts there of 231, Hanover area, Stewartville area, and then potentially close to Goodwater, but likely moving on into southern parts, though, or southwestern parts of Clay County area. So we're still watching that. How about Lineville there? Yeah, we actually have a severe thunderstorm warning still in effect for your area here. This one goes into effect until this is 10:15 as well, too, for Clay County and also into Randolph County. This was from the straight line winds we were talking about earlier. Go ahead and look at some of that wind shear. Still some gusty winds right now in Randolph County here, heading over toward parts of Randolph as well as into Cleburne County. So just outside our area here, but still going to be watching that as that works its way into Georgia. But south of it, we still again have our tornado here working its way here. Just now a small sliver left of Coosa County. So Rockford, if you were taking in shelter, you can get out of your shelter now. Same for you in the Clanton area as well. But this is where we've been continuing to watch that storm moving north of Hanover, kind of going to just miss Sylacauga here, probably going just off to the west and north of Goodwater, Hatchet area too, but just about between 231 and right about Highway 280 now at this point here. And you can see still again have that debris showing up on the latest here, right between Stewartville and Hanover. So that's going to continue its way here, moving on into the northern part of Coosa County. And that rotation with it, just kind of give you an idea of what that is, not near as strong. So that's good. We still have some of it here, but not quite as much as it was earlier, which means the tornado has weakened quite a bit. And you can still see it's kind of right along that area, though, north of Hanover now. We're still seeing that with that rotation and Highway 231 as it crosses over that time frame, or that roadway right now. So that is our main storm. That is the one we have left here on the books as we'll continue watching this one. Those tornado warnings definitely will continue. We're almost coming up at 10 o'clock right now. So it's been a very long day today. We've had the storms continuing from earlier this afternoon through the evening hours and now into the nighttime. And of course, now we're talking nighttime tornadoes here in Alabama. Unfortunately, they're very common for us here, especially this time of year, and we're continuing to see more of them. But at least this is the only one we're dealing with, not dealing with multiple tornadoes at this point. We do have some strong storms down to our south, though. Let's take a look here at the latest radar and show those new thunderstorm warnings coming in at this point here. Dealing with these storms here north of Wetumpka, heading to southern part now of Coosa County. It looks like you're in this new severe thunderstorm warning. That goes to 11 o'clock, and it continues to watch this storm down here to the south. So we do have our storm here with the tornado warning to the north, new severe thunderstorm warning down to the south. Jacob?
Yeah, Dave, and just looking at the National Weather Service chat, it looks like they could issue a new tornado warning for portions of Clay County here, but right now they are definitely going to issue a new severe thunderstorm warning, more so for this Boeing segment here. If you just look south of Sylacauga, down Highway 231, and we're getting a new radar update, so let me kind of step back for a second, and continuing to see more of that kind of gusting out mechanism that we see, which is typically when a tornado is trying to weaken and eventually fizzles out. You'll end up with kind of a little gust front that pushes out in front of it too, and we call that the rear flank downdraft, but it actually ends up kind of absorbing the tornado in itself, and then it pushes a big burst of wind out. So this is still damaging wind. It may not be in the form of a tornado at the moment if they can no longer confirm one is on the ground. 60 to 70 mile per hour winds would still certainly be the case with this particular storm that we're looking at. And again, if we look at the debris, still evidence here. Now, sometimes with your stronger long track tornadoes like this one has been, you know, the tornado can dissipate and debris is still being lofted into the upper levels of the storm just because of how intense those winds are up there. So this may not be saying that one is still on the ground. It could just be some elevated debris. And of course, this is extremely rural portions of eastern Alabama. So at the very least, it could just be picking up some leaves and some trees, and we hope it's nothing more than that. But just kind of watching the previous radar scans to show you kind of what I'm talking about here with how this debris signature has kind of weakened as my iPad is reconnecting, so just give me a moment here. I'm going to kind of loop it here just for a second to show you how it looked more intense just a few scans ago. So when we have that really defined signature here, that would be indicating that it is on the ground, but notice how we see the fast forward play here, and it is kind of becoming more fanned out. It's not nearly as well defined of a circulation, and it could just be evidence that it's just leaving debris lingering, which could be leaves and sticks and that kind of nature, very light things left up into the upper levels of the storm. So until we see that debris signature completely go away, we can't completely roll out that we don't still have a tornado on the ground here in portions, and this would be moving into what appears to be now, this is still north Coosa County and eventually about to cross over into extreme southwestern Clay County here. So it could barely clip extreme southern portions here of Talladega County, just southeast of Sylacauga, but I do think it's probably going to stay just south of that line right there where you can cross over into Talladega County. Let's go back and look at the velocity. I mentioned that gust you know, from the storm kind of weakening in itself. Once the tornado ends up fizzling out, you end up with that big burst of wind, and we're kind of seeing that here just east of Highway 231, all the way from Talladega down towards Sycamore and Sylacauga. Just to the east of that, we can actually kind of give you an estimate of exactly how strong some of these winds may be, and the radar is estimating upwards of 40 miles per hour. I would imagine it's a little bit higher than that. And this is normally a very brief gust of wind. This would not be a prolonged, damaging line of storms as it continues on towards the east, but just more so a process that the storms will go through as they produce a tornado, and then eventually that tornado can lift. So we're getting that new severe thunderstorm warning now. This is for Clay County. This is going in effect until 11:15 p.m. So it is just now 10 o'clock. So we still have over an hour before this storm is going to be even out of the warned area here. So this includes cities of Lineville. This also includes the Sycamore area as well, because they're really outlining this big burst of wind, but it's already pushed through Sycamore. It's already pushed through Sylacauga. So extreme portions, western portions of Clay County here would be the areas that are getting that big burst of wind. And it does look like it is possibly getting a little bit more intense. We're seeing maybe some gust in here as high as see, this is showing up to 72 miles per hour. Of course, we are looking several thousand feet aloft from where the radar site is. So in reality, probably closer to maybe 60 miles per hour at the surface, and still can do damage and bring trees down and bring power lines down, and could potentially land on, you know, homes or businesses that have people sheltering inside. So I don't want there to be, you know, the possibility of no tornado with this storm to prevent you from at least seeking shelter. I would encourage, if you are in this severe thunderstorm warning, which includes, again, Ashland and Lineville all the way down to Goodwater, you still need to get in your safe place, because this storm has continued to show evidence of recycling. It's already produced two separate tornadoes just in the past couple of hours. So there's no reason to believe that it can't do that again. So that's why we really have to keep a close eye on this storm as it continues on towards the northeast. So that's the latest look on velocity. We'll look again at the storm relative velocity. This is where we would be trying to find that couplet for a tornado. We're not looking at straight line winds here, but more so the winds moving inside of the storm. And what we're seeing here is no evidence, from what I can tell, of any kind of circulation that looks strong enough to produce a tornado. We'll go back to our debris. And again, still seeing a couple of pixels here in northern portions of Coosa County. But not nearly as defined as it once was, because we can go back just a few radar scans and show how that circulation, that debris one right there, that was at 9:54 p.m. There's your timestamp. And then if we go all the way forward, the storm is losing that debris ball signature slowly but surely, but it is still there. It's present enough that we still have to keep a very close eye on that as it continues towards southwestern portions of Clay County here. So again, you're under a severe thunderstorm warning in Clay County. I think that this is a storm you should be seeking shelter just because of the nature it's had in its past over the last couple of hours. Again, I just said that it produced 2 separate tornadoes, one of those back in Chilton County on the ground for what appeared to be at least 15 miles, and then it touched down again once it crossed into portions of Coosa County, and looks like it was on the ground for at least 5 to 8, maybe even more miles than that. So that's what this storm has been doing. It could very well do that one more time or even a couple more times as it traverses through Clay County. We're going to go back to the radar here just to give you another idea of just how heavy the rain is with this. And so if this storm does produce another tornado, this is ever more reason to treat it like it is at the moment because of just heavy rain. The fact that it could briefly touch down again, and you're under a severe thunderstorm warning. So please don't let that hinder you from taking this storm extremely serious. You need to know what it's done in the past. And again, it's produced 2 tornadoes just in the past hour. So this storm is definitely producing a lot of heavy rain. It's definitely got a lot of lightning with it as well. You can tell where the most intense part of the storm is with all of these lightning strikes here. And that is, again, a testament that we can use to kind of see exactly how strong a storm is. Is it pulsing up? Is it starting to die back down? And this particular storm is still maintaining quite a bit of intensity, and that is probably not going to change as it continues to feed off of what's left of very unstable air across eastern Alabama. Of course, earlier we talked about how the air over west central Alabama was best for tornadoes, and then the storms pushed towards the I-65 corridor, and it really started to shift for areas from Shelby County down to Chilton and points towards the east as well. I am going to zoom back out just because it looks like that particular part of the storm is starting to weaken enough that we can maybe pull away from it for just a minute. And for areas that are not seeing any rain anymore, Birmingham, you guys are starting to see the storms come to an end. A couple lightning strikes over there close to the airport. Otherwise, your severe weather threat's completely over. It's been over for the past hour. Coleman, Aniana, back over to Double Springs, Jasper, Fayette, Tuscaloosa, Vance, Brent, Greensboro, Aliceville, Reform, Sologent, Fayette, Hamilton, you guys are done with the storms tonight. You may hear a couple rumbles of thunder. We may get a couple more showers overnight, but you're done with the severe weather threat. Areas that are from around Clanton back over to Anniston, Lineville areas, we still have close enough severe thunderstorm warnings and some pretty dangerous weather that you should still be keeping a close eye on radar and, of course, still paying attention for the next half hour or so. But the good news is that here in about another hour to an hour and a half, these storms are going to be out of Clay County, and eventually they are going to be moving on into Georgia. And for the rest of the night, we can rest weary knowing that we are storm-free and that we got through a high-risk event, a level 5 out of 5. We've been talking about it, preparing you guys for it all week long. And here we are about to be completely done with the event. So let's all just take a breath of fresh air together. Let's breathe. We're okay. And again, we have no confirmed fatalities from tonight. So that is the best news that we have to give to you right now. That could change, of course, as we get more reports in throughout the night. But as of right now, we have no confirmation of any fatalities from the severe weather across central Alabama. Let's go to the tornado watch. I was telling you which counties are completely done with the severe weather threat. This kind of encompasses a lot of that right here. So for those of you still left underneath that tornado watch, and this is not until 8 o'clock. Obviously, we're past 8 o'clock, but this tornado watch was extended. But Cherokee down towards Calhoun, Talladega, Clay, Coosa, Chilton, you guys are all still in that tornado watch. as of right now. Now, I do think that there will be some counties taken away from that. Chilton County likely being removed from that here shortly, and eventually we'll see Talladega, Calhoun, Cherokee, and eventually Coosa taken out of this as well. Clay County is likely going to be the last county in our coverage area that is under that tornado watch tonight. But again, the big take-home message from this is that the Birmingham Metro, including Shelby County, is now removed from that tornado watch, so you guys can go to bed, go about your Saturday night business, and not have to worry about the weather. So I think I've given you guys a little bit of a break. I don't know if we're continuing the coverage right now with no active tornado warnings, but for now I am going to toss it back over to Dave.
All right.